World's most dangerous podcast. We gonna be in the building with good. The world doing bar for bar. Like Jay Kemp was going down, man. Let's get it. What's good? Hundo up in this studio. Hundo. We ain't out.
Shout Podcast Show. They are the podcast equivalent of Rap City right now. This is the best hip hop debate show on the internet. So shout out to the Fresh Out Show.
F to the R to the S to the H to the O to the U to the T. That Fresh Out.
What's up? Salute.
What's goody, man? What's going down Tuesday night? You know we don't do no Tuesday nights, man. We do the Wednesday 9:30, man. But salute 3:38, man. Sky is like, you know how it goes down tonight, man. Salute, man. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Tonight holding it down, man. Salute. Hey, we got something special tonight, man. First of all, Bebo P, what's goody?
Hey, feeling good, feeling great for this bonus edition of Fresh Out.
You know how it goes down,
grateful
man.
for you as well as Jay Camp, who will probably be on shortly, and our special guest. How about yourself, Iceberg?
Hey, man, salute to everybody, man. First of all, it's cold outside.
Nice.
Hey, man, it's cold outside, man. Salute to everybody, man. Hold it down. Keep them jobs moving, man. If you're if you're in the slammer, man, salute to you, cuz. We got mad love for you, man. Hold it down. If you can't be with the family for the holidays, man, we going to be holding it down all week, man. We got a show today. We got a show Wednesday. We got a show Friday, man. Again, hip-hop is living over here, man. Salute all the hip-hop heads out there, man, across the globe, man. Subscribe to the Scribe. You know what I'm saying? Since Jay Campbell come on with us too, man, he got a little family situation going on. But
salute to Jay Campbell.
As we go in, man, like, let's be clear, man. We got a little special joint tonight, man. Brooklyn. Been doing this stuff for a long time, man. Since 02, 05, 04. Penn Griffey of the game. Never lost. You ain't never heard a whack verse from him?
Nope.
Never honestly heard a whack track from him?
Nope.
Ain't really never heard a whack album from the cat?
Nope.
Just got dropped a new album last week, man. Views of a lifetime. Real brother, real dude. You know what I'm saying? Single man, Sky's light. Before we drop him in, man, let me play a little something, man. Just so I know what it is, man. The bars real quick. Hold up, man.
And they call me SKYZOO. Do it like this. Yo, freedom of jail, pick your purpose. A baby's being born the same time cloud is purchased. The beginning and end, the feeling intense. It feel like the ceiling is thin. And then everything above it got a sinister grin. You do the math and count up a play in the field get you. Where they talk you out the ride the moment the field settles. For all the unknowns that roam in the field left you, I turned letters to numbers and left with a field medal. I'm Bobby Seale's spirit, Ryan Leslie vision. The scheme handwriting with my mother in the kitchen. Triple layered, I got the right three. My diet Panero, my aura Jada, my height chic.
Man.
Skyzoo's in the building, man.
Yeah.
We gotta bring him in right.
Peace,
you know
brothers,
what I'm saying?
peace.
Sky's like, what's good?
What's going on?
First of all, let's be clear, man. Skyzoo never lost.
Never.
I had to count the albums, but then it's the mixtapes, the EPs, like.
Yeah, it's like 25, 26 if you count everything.
Dang.
I didn't want to get the number wrong.
To the fingers, yeah.
It's something like that.
It's
you know
something
what I mean?
like
It's
that.
25,
But this is the
26.
thing, man. Like it's like MJ numbers, man. It's 6 for 6 if we doing it from an MJ standpoint, man.
Yeah.
First of all, how you doing, man? Like how you been living, man? Like last time we talked to you, man, like we came off the Keep Me Company classic, no skips. And then we come here.
Still bumping that.
How you feeling since that period, man?
I'm doing good, man. With that intro y'all gave me, I'm doing great. You know what I'm saying? About to soundbite that, use it at the show. You know what I mean? But
there you go.
But yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm blessed. Everything is smooth. Everything is good. I appreciate all y'all. I appreciate everybody watching at home. Everybody watching it where they at and tapping in and tuning in with the FRSHOUT. You know what I mean? And it's nothing but love, man. Yeah, views of a lifetime out right now. You know what I mean? Views of a lifetime.
There you go, man. There you go.
First, before we get into the music, are the Knicks going to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah, we
okay, all right. We gotta do a little.
You know how much love I got for y'all? They playing right now, and I'm over here.
Exactly. That's you said Tuesday. Hold up. I said, hold up now.
Right. And you did have the Knicks jacket in the video, so
the Knicks jacket,
that's
man.
Yeah, you know,
but this is the thing, man.
I didn't know this was y'all doing something special just for me, like not,
of course.
So I appreciate that. I didn't realize that until the intro, so I appreciate that, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you know, we you know what I mean, serve each other, man. The game is on. I dubbed the game for the night. I'm like, we good. I'm with family, so we rocking. You know what I mean?
We don't take that lightly, man. So we appreciate.
Nah, it's love. I'm messing around, but it's love, man. It's always great being here with y'all and talking the real.
Yeah, man. You know how it goes, though, man. Let me get this right real quick. J. Kemp,
what's good, people?
Man? What's going on with you, man?
We good?
Let me get y'all right real quick. Hold up, man. Discarded changes, man. We gonna get the little joint right. Jay Kemper, what's goody, man?
Man, I'm good, man. You know, I had to tap in, man. We got Sky on, man. You know, I'm in the building, man, for this one.
Yeah, good to see you here, man. Glad you make it.
There we go.
Absolutely, man.
That's right,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right.
Already.
Yeah, my fault, man. We gotta get everybody right up in here, man.
Hold up.
Hold up. Sky, man, like I said, man, I know we gotta talk about the whole situation with the Knicks, man. My question before we get into the album though, man, is what you been listening to this year? Like, this has been a great year for hip hop. Of course, you've been listening to your stuff, of course.
Yeah,
but what you been listening to? What's in the deck right now? Before we go in?
You know, I try to keep my ears on everything, but when I'm in the middle of a project, I actually tap out.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't like to listen to anything while I'm working. At least nothing new. I'll listen to old stuff, like I'll listen to Ready to Die, Illmatic, Reasonable Doubt, Perfect Tape. You know, I'll listen to old stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like watching highlight films. You know what I mean? Like it's like being Kobe and watching Jordan films before the game. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'll listen to old stuff. You know, a little bit just to tap in a little bit, but I really don't listen to any hip hop. I don't listen to nobody rhyming. Definitely nothing new while I'm working, because I just don't want the blending of the world subconsciously. You know what I mean? So I don't do that. Some people do it and it's love. Some people keep up with whatever's going on, but if I'm working, a lot of records will drop and I won't listen. You know what I mean? There's a few exceptions. Like if Jay was to drop, you know what I mean? Nas drop, you know, my brother West, if Westside Gun drop, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm on that Aunt Gina joint. You know, like if West drop, I'm like, oh, let me tap in with bro. You know what I'm saying? Like day one, you know what I mean? But other than that, I wait. You know, I'll go back. I'll make a list. I'll grab everything off Apple Music and save it and heart it and all that, so I know to go back to it. But I'll get on it later. But once the record was done, man, I had to listen to a lot of music because I missed a lot. You know what I mean? So I had to listen to like the Mob joint, the Ransom joints, you know what I mean? I had to listen to mad stuff because I missed everything by choice. You know what I mean? But all right, let me go back. All right, let me see what Son did. Yep, that was dope. Let me see what they did. Yep, that was dope. Shay Noir. Yep, that was dope. Boom, boom. You know what I mean? Like doing all that. So just trying to keep up with everything. It's been an incredible year for hip hop. It's been one of the best years. And the irony with the whole Billboard Top 40 thing, the year that nothing is technically shaken on the charts is the year that's been historic for hip hop. So that shows you the root of hip hop, right? Like it ain't about the chart. Yeah, we got the chart and that's good, and that's how everybody was able to become millionaires and billionaires in this thing and do the unthinkable. But the fact that it kind of went back to its roots in the ground floor and the essence by default. You know what I mean? Like the year that there's a billion albums that are out of control is the year that, you know, is the year that there's nothing on the top 40. The irony of that, you know what I mean?
So, irony, right.
Well, and then again, too, man, like, you come in like MJ last fourth quarter now with a slam dunk with the EP joint. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So again,
reverse.
Man, like
that's a reverse oop. You came with the reverse oop.
It's a little reverse oop.
Right.
Again, man, like what's again the album, man? If you just tapping in, man, salute to you, man. We got Skyzoo, man. Penn Griffey, Never Lost, man. This album. Views of a lifetime, man. We see in front of the subway on the artwork. Before we get into the music again, we see the artwork. Again, I'm gonna show it right real quick, man, to everybody while you talking.
Yeah.
What was the whole situation on the artwork, man? Again, 9 tracks, man. Crazy.
Yeah.
We see in front of the L train, man. What's the situation with the cover?
It's super layered, man. So it's
yeah, we know what you was very layered.
You know me, man.
Yeah.
So the concept of the album is called Views of a Lifetime, and it piggybacks just like all of them. My career, my catalog is gonna be a book, like a novel at some point, and at least that's the way I look at it, right? Like at the end of the day, it's kind of like an audio novel. So every album is a chapter, right? And every song is a page in that chapter. So every album is a chapter. So the last chapter was Keep Me Company. We talked about growth. We talked about, you know, I'm growing, whether I like it or not. I didn't realize it. I'm starting to realize it. I don't know how to deal with it, how to cope with it, how to adjust, blah, 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 blah. Then at the end of it, you kind of give into it and you're like, all right, cool. Like, this is what it is. I get it now. There's others just like me. Come keep me company. Cool. So now on Views of a Lifetime, now you've been in this growth spurt. You've grown. You're comfortable. You embrace it. You good. Yo, I'm over here. Blah, blah, blah. You've grown, right? Now you're looking back at who you were. And that's why it's called Views of a Lifetime, because it's like, yo, that was a previous life. Even though it's one life to live, it's kind of like it was a previous life, you know, like you've grown out of that skin. So it's just like you're able to look back on that now and be like, yo, so did I hit all the goals I wanted when I got into the game or this field? And I'm saying, you know, I and we, but, you know, talk about myself, but I'm talking about you guys as listeners too, right? Like whatever field you was in or whatever dreams you had, some of them went the way you wanted, some of them didn't. The things that went the way you wanted were great, or maybe they went the way you wanted and that actually didn't work out. And it's like, damn, I wish that didn't happen. I wish I didn't get what I wanted because I thought I knew what I wanted, but that actually wasn't worth it. And then vice versa. You may have taken some L's and be like, yo, those wasn't L's at all. Like those was wins, but I didn't realize it. You know, so it's all looking back. So it's Views of a Lifetime on that growth and just reflecting and all that. So now to the cover, it's like once you know where things are and what's going on, do you feel like it was worth it? Do you feel like continuing this journey? Do you feel like you want to take this ride that you've been on and you want to continue to go on it and even with your growth? And purposely, that's why it's the L train. It's like getting on this, is this an L to continue to go a certain way? And that's why on the back, when you get the vinyl, the back, I didn't get on the train like the train is passing by. You know what I mean? So it's all layers. So it's purposely the L train. You know what I mean? Which that was in East New York at the junction. Everybody from Brooklyn, you know, Broadway Junction. You know, that's the L train at the junction in East New York. You know, so it was on purpose. It's like letting that L go by. You know what I mean? Letting the L go by, and you know, feeling like you took an L when you didn't, or you know, there's just all those layers of it. That's what it comes down to. So that's the cover. That's the science behind it.
Yeah, when I saw the cover, I was like, all right, man, I got to ask him.
It's something there, right?
Because, again, we didn't see your face on the cover. You know what I'm saying? So you're looking that way.
Just looking back, looking back, you know what I
mean?
And looking at the train is coming my way. So you looking like, okay, there go the train. Yep, okay, yeah, we about. Nah, I'm going to let the train go. That growth. Let that go, you know what I mean, and it goes by, and that's why it's purposely the L train. So you know, it's all because it could have been the S. I could have went to Franklin and caught the shuttle. It would have been the S for Skyzoo. You know what I mean? So it's purposely the L. You know what I mean? So yeah.
You know, it's funny that you say that because we've all heard the saying in so many words. You know, you got to know where you come from in order to know where you're going, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So I think that's you know, pretty foundational from what you just shared with us there.
Yeah.
Keep Me Company, your last album, or your second to last album, technically, right?
Yeah.
Was an album of growth, so to speak, as well. Whereas 2025's and your latest Views of a Lifetime, as you said as well, sounds like that mixed with some reflection, if you will.
Yep.
So what or who would you say is the inspiration for Skyzoo to look back on this project at certain aspects of your life that culminated you into the, you know, not only man, but phenomenal artist that we know today?
Thank you, man. The growth element, I would say my son, without a doubt, right? Like, you know, just having a little man who look up to me every second of the day. Anybody who got kids, you know, that literally becomes your end all be all. It's everything for them and then everything else after that. You know what I mean? You put like 99% into your kid and 1% into everything else in your life. At least that's how I see it. Like, being a dad is the most important thing to me, and you know, my son's breath means more than my breath every day of the week. You know what I mean? So you know, just being a dad, you know, being growing up, you know, 42, I'll be 43 in a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah,
happy early
Christmas
birthday.
Eve,
Happy
you know what I
early
mean?
joint.
So,
Yeah.
Happy
appreciate
early
it.
one,
Christmas
man.
Eve, baby. You know what I mean? So just continuing to grow. Musically, you know, I listen to the same stuff I've been listening to, like the tapes that I named, and you know, of course, there's others and some of the new stuff too. But it's all of a certain cloth, you know, and that kind of you add all that up along with pushing myself. You know, a lot of times, man, people are asking me, I'll do interviews, or sometimes I'll be even my best friend, my brother A. You hear me talk about A on every album. Like A came to the crib for Thanksgiving. So he came over, we eating, bugging out. You know, this is my day one. You know what I mean? He walk in the crib and just go get in the guest room bed if he want. You know what I mean? Like, and don't even say nothing. This is my brother, you know? So
That's what's
he
up.
over here, him and my real little brother, my actual little brother, they both was over here for Thanksgiving. And my brother was like, yo, you know what we got to hear, right? Like, you know what we got to press play on. You know we eating and all that, but I'm ready to, like, wrap this up. Come on, let's go in the basement. So I was like, all right. We come downstairs, and we playing joints. And they just freaking out. You know, my little brother is literally my little brother. He's been in my house my whole life. You know what I mean? So, and my best friend, you know, around the corner from me, my whole half my life, you know, and but they still get that reaction. And for me, that's priceless. You know what I mean? And my bro A is just like, yo, what the? Can we curse on the show? I don't remember.
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I try to respect the house. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
And,
We're the world's most dangerous podcast and show.
Yeah,
You
you gotta keep
Yeah,
it real, man.
We're the bad boys. Yeah.
And my bro A was like, yo, what the fuck, bro? He was like, yo, what the? He was like, yo, turn this off. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, B? Like, this is insane. You know, and I'm so like, those reactions, he's just like, yo, like he's throwing his hat. He's like, yo, I gotta go. B. Like, what? I'm like, bro, you knew me since we was 14. He's like, exactly. You know what I mean? He's like, yo, I gotta go. He's like, yo, what are you doing in here, B? Like, he's blowing my phone. He's like, yo, what did you do with this album, B? Like, this is out of control. Like, so, you know, it's those reactions and moments. And I say all that long piece to say, I try to one up myself. You know what I mean? Like, people like, yo, how do you still find another way? Like, how are you still saying X, Y, Z? How are you still shooting better from three when you was already at Steph range? And I'm saying what other people say. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gloating. So it's just like my response is like, yo, I'm in the gym every day, 1,000 jumpers a day. I really love the sport. I really was put here to do it by God. It's a God-given gift. And
Facts.
I just want to one-up myself, man. I want to tell the best stories, make the most cohesive albums, be the most layered, be the dopest, have the most flawless, bulletproof catalog. You know what I said, my catalog, Robert Townsend lead, you know what I mean? Media Man, you know what I'm saying, on Love Day. My catalog was Robert Townsend lead, you know what I mean? Just was bouncing off son, it was bulletproof, you know what I mean? So like, you know, that's my goal, because that was my goal when I was 9, when I first started rapping. That was my goal when I heard Iron Man and when I heard, you know, Ready to Die and Illmatic and Reasonable Doubt and Harlem World and, you know, Black on Both Sides. Like, that was my goal, like, to be them guys. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I thought all that stuff was flawless. And I was like, yo, man, this is talking about a student who really, really, really paid attention in class. That's all this really is, like a student who really paid attention in class when it comes to this. My real class, not so much, but this class, you know what I'm saying? I was locked in, you know what I mean? I was all the way locked in, and these are the moments where it's proven. Not even being funny. Like, I went to I went to the School of Liquid Swords and then the School of Betha. You know what I mean? Like, I was all the way locked in school. Like, I was like, all right, yep, boom, okay, boom. That's how you do. Okay, bet. I'm learning. I'm in the gym. I'm shooting. I'm in the gym. I'm shooting. Like, that's the equivalent, you know? So I guess that sums it up as far as the way I'm able to do what I do. And I don't take it lightly. You know, I don't take it lightly at all. A lot of people will say all of the things I just said and brush it off like it's nothing. I say all the things I just said, and I thank God every day for the talent I have. You know what I mean? Like, I don't take it lightly. You know, the fact that I'm able to do what I do, I know it's for a higher calling, a bigger purpose. You know, like I said on Half Bloom, you know, with the most looking over, and I wrote like I know that we align, meaning I won't be aligned with their fate. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so it's I know it's for a higher purpose, and I was put here to do it. So I don't take it lightly, man. I don't play with that. You know?
Yeah.
That's dope, man. I mean, obviously, like you said, you was locked in. We can definitely tell, like, listening to just Sky's like, we can tell you was all the way locked in.
Yeah.
Like, just kind of like let us know, like, that process when you working on an album like Views of a Lifetime, that process of picking producers, because you got to have a producer who's gonna raise your pen.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, who's gonna get that pen?
Itself, man, that's a gift in itself.
It really is, man, and obviously you have a plethora of producers on this project that we all respect. You know, we've interviewed Cartoon Beats before. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're fans of Conductor Williams, DJ Manipulator. Like, we're fans of all these guys. Like, what kind of went into that mindset of I got to get with Camouflage Monk? You know what I mean? Like, to get this one.
It kind of happens on its own and organic. Like, I don't sit down and be like, man, I got to get one from so and so and so. I don't really do that. Like, I'm blessed to have a Rolodex of a lot of producers.
That's dope.
Big names, up and comers. I ain't hungry for beats. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get 30 beat emails a day, literally a day. You know what I mean? Like, I get so many beats, and you know, a lot of them be up and comers. I can't even listen to all of them. You know what I mean? Like, but that's a blessing. I know people. I know homies that be wanting beats. Like, yo, Scott, if you got any beats that you don't want from some of these dudes, send them to me.
Let me hold something. You know what I mean?
Well, you got any more than beats?
Yeah, you got some beats.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I know the up and comers. They be sending you beats, man. And you know, if it's some little up and comer, man, just throw me something. You know, my homies that rhyme a little bit or whatever. You know, so I got so many beats. I ain't hungry for them. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm blessed to have relationships with all these producers. Like, on the album, everyone on the album I have somewhat of a relationship with. You know what I mean? Like, everyone. It's not let me send a blind email because this guy is hot right now. This guy is hot right now. Nah, these are people I really know. Some of them are people who come to the crib. You know what I mean? Hang out and eat Father's Day. So, like, you know, so it's I mean, going down the line, Camouflage Monk, he made that beat for me. He named it like Sky. You know, I think the name of the file was like Sky, number 2.
Salute to Camouflage Monk, too. Nice, man.
Absolutely, and he sent me that, and I was like, yo, hell yeah, this is nuts, hell yeah, you know what I mean? But he had sent me that beat, I want to say, like, maybe a minute ago, man, a couple years ago. And what'll happen is so funny, man. What'll happen is I'll be having beats on flash drives. Man, I got a bowl of flash drives behind me. Literally a bowl, like a cereal bowl of flash drives, man. From different producers, people who give me beats at shows. I take everybody beats because you never know what you're gonna find.
You never know what you got up in.
You know, so I never say no. That's why I get 30 emails a day. I never say no. Anybody who want my email for beats, take it. You never know what you're gonna find, you know. So I'm going through a flash drive. And the same thing happened with Courtesy Call. I was going through a flash drive. I'm like, yo, what's on this? It's my man Dag. Oh man, he came to the lab in 2017 in Brooklyn, Ill Mind Lab. Yo, and the dates say 2017, and Courtesy Call was in there. And I was like, yo, this is nuts. Like, this beat was sitting here since 2017. Yo, bro, this still open? Yep.
Yeah, can I use that?
Now.
Yeah, I need that.
You know what I mean? So, like, it was the same thing with Camouflage Monk. I'm going through a flash drive. I think I was going through a flash drive, and I was like, yo, who made this beat? Because it just said Sky 2. And I was like, yo, who made this beat again? This flash drive is old. So I started digging, and I went through my emails, and it was Monk. And I was like, oh, snap. So I hit Monk. Yo, this beat still open, bro? Yeah, that's you. I only made that for you. Done. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, stuff like that. But I know Monk. You know what I mean? It's not like I just said, so-and-so was hot, let me send a DM, which is fine too. You know what I mean? That's totally fine because relationships start somewhere. Yeah. But this isn't me fishing. These are people I really know. So it was like that with a Twami joint. That Twami beat is like 5 years old for Pardon Me. Wow. And I was going through a flash drive. Oh, man. And I was like, yo. And I hit Twami right away. I took the flash drive, put it in the Jeep. I'm blasting it. And I made a little video while I was driving, playing it, and I'm in the background screaming like, yo, son, I need this. Hit my phone, I need this. I took the video, and then he hit me right away. I was like, yo, that's yours. You know what I mean? So,
hey, speaking of that joint,
Well, hold on. Before you go into that joint, let me play it real quick. Let me play a little something.
Okay,
something.
okay.
Let me play this little part of me joint just so we know what it is, you know?
What I was up against before anyone seated me. Park bench, musical chairs made me a deity. Follow how you feel, but the chariot got a low jack. Lockjaws crowded my lobby, ducking the Kodak. It be hard to understand, but I leveled to some. Me speaking the double meanings got me second to none. And all the idols who inspired you is dead on they run from off a target in the markets they can never become. I answer the bat signal that they put in the air and get them sounding back to normal like I took their veneers. The man child in the promised land who left off the stairs and wrote everything 2 for 1 like it's better in pairs. Like where we at? Yo, you gotta pardon me. I knew that how y'all act. I was cut more godly.
I'm glad you played that.
Dancing on that one.
Skyzoo was dancing.
When I heard that one, man, I was like, man, he probably gonna be mad. I'm gonna post this joint. I gotta post this joint on the X joint. Hey, man, you went dumb on that record.
Once the album's out, you can post what you want.
Yeah, man, this thing, man. Yeah. This joint right here, I was like, this ain't keep me. I'm thinking I'm about to hear some little, like, nice little chill joints like to keep me company. I said, Sky went dumb. Like,
dumb, bro.
Go in and ask your question, Bebo, because like I said, this joint made me stop what I was doing and listen to the whole situation.
Yeah. And hey, I got to take the baton from you, Iceberg, and I'm glad you played that for the people as well because, and I could be wrong, but it reminds me of that Jay-Z Volume 3 last joint with Beanie Siegel, Where Have You Been, but like a complete opposite.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like
it's
flip.
the same. It's
a flip.
It's the same idea for lack of a better term. Production wise, you know what I mean?
So
I ain't gonna say the S word, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, all that to say, like that joint said where you been, and then on this joint, as even Iceberg just played, you know, part of what you say is where you at. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I thought that flip was dope too. But go in on that joint if you don't mind. Just
when I heard the beat,
crazy.
like I said, when I heard the beat, I was like, yo, because when you hear that idea, not using the S word,
sure.
When you hear that idea, you think of Daddy, where have you been? You know, the Jay and Siegel joint, melancholy, sad, heartwarming, make you cry even. You know, some people said they cried when they heard that record. They talking about their fathers and not having a dad and all that. When you hear that idea, you think that. So when Twami, being a madman that he is, when he flipped it, I'm like, oh, you made an outside joint.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, nah, I need this, B. You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, like, to take that same source of idea and turn it into an outside joint, like knocking, banging, street, hard, funk flex freestyle on a Thursday night, like to make one of those type of beats out of that same thing. Because when you, like I said, when you hear that idea, you think the melancholy, the sad, you think what Jay and Siegel did to it, which was beautiful. So to take that and totally flip that more upside down and go outside, go to the tunnel with it, go outside to the concrete with it. I was like, oh, that's why I need this, bro. I need this. Because people are going to be like, yo, how do you flip that idea on the beat and go totally left with it, you know what I mean? And turn this into a knocker. Like with the same idea. It's not sad no more. It's not what, and turn it into a knocker. I was like, no, I need this. You know? I was like, bro, listen, whoever got it, I need it. Like, that's yours, B. Right. He was like, yo, people are scared of those type of beats, you know what I mean?
Because you got to come right. Moments, and you killed that pocket. Like J. Kim said, you danced on it.
Nah, I appreciate it. Yeah, like people,
you Gregory Hines on that.
Like, I can't mess with that idea. I can't. Oh, that's a little crazy. That's hard. I was yo, man, listen. He said he made it on his phone. B. He was like, yo, I made that on the iPhone. I was like, what? But Twami's the madman. If you know Twami, man, he's
blazed it on the iPhone.
Man.
He's out here. I mean, madman in the highest sense of complimentary flattery. Like he's a scientist, man, and. Yeah. He was like, man, I made that on my phone, B. He was like, I got an app on my phone. I'm sitting on the iPhone 15 or whatever going stupid. I'm like, oh, my gosh, B. So,
that's amazing.
You know what I mean?
Well, this thing, was that the sound that you wanted for this project? Because, again, like starting off with the tags joint, then you go straight to this Pardon Me record.
Yeah.
Because, again, I'm thinking I'm going to hear Keep Me Company. I'm thinking I'm going to hear some smooth stuff.
Think we going
I said, hold up, like...
It's sonically
barring out.
Yeah.
Sonically, sonically, it's probably my most street project. It's probably my most street album sonically. You know what I'm saying? Content-wise, I'm talking about the same stuff. You know, and I'm not saying in the sense of like, you know, repetition. Not at all. You know, that ain't me at all. So let me rephrase that. Lyrically and all that, and the content, you know, it's gonna be bars. You know, it's gonna be double entendres. It's gonna be layered.
Facts.
You know, it's gonna be me talking about Brooklyn. It's gonna be a story. You know, this album's about gentrification. This album's about fatherhood. This album's about the plight of black folk. This album's about Franklin Saint. This album's about, you know, whatever. So Keep Me Company's about growth. This is about looking back and reflecting. But sonically, this is probably the most street joint I've ever done. Probably the hardest joint I've ever, like, project. You know, you got your jazzy moments, of course. You know, if you look at you look at the soloist, there's no way I can not do that because I'm me, right? Like, I'm still Skyzoo. It's still a certain brand that you buy into when you think Skyzoo. So, you know, I can't abandon that, nor would I ever want to, because I love jazz. I'm a jazz head. But sonically, while keeping a jazz aesthetic, when you listen to Tags at the MoMA, it's a classical idea. It's a classical sound bed behind it. You know what I mean? It's literally classical music. So classical music is, you know, next door neighbors with jazz. You know what I mean? So it's still gonna have a jazz feel and element, but this one is more street and a little harder sonically. You know what I mean, as far as the production and the beats and all that.
Well, you went from the Part Me joint to a cartoon beats.
Yeah.
No drums.
Yeah.
And cartoon always blazing.
So the cartoon, like, woo, woo. I mean, it was crazy. Go in on that one.
Yeah. So what happened? Cartoon is my man. He always sending me beats. We always get on the phone and vibe.
That workload was crazy
and all that. And he was working. He was working on some stuff. And then he was like, "Yo, I'm in beat mode right now. I'm working on a bunch of different projects. I'm in beat mode. Yo, I'm about to, you know, flood your text with a bunch of joints." I was like, "Yeah, go for it." And he might have sent me like 20 beats via text. You know what I mean? Like he might have sent text me 20 beats, but they all was drumless. He was like, "Yo, I'm on a drumless wave right now. Whatever project he's working on." He was like, "I'm on a drumless
whatever you
wave
want, I'm giving you what I won't give you." Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so he said it ahead of time. He was like, "Yo, I'm on a drumless wave right now. Is that cool?" I was like, "Yeah, bro. Like, it's you. Like, send everything." But you know, I rock with the drumless joints. I just don't like super slow beats, and that's just me personally.
Yeah, fact.
To rhyme to. If other heads is rhyming to it and it's dope and it sounds ill, that's dope. But to rhyme to, I don't like them 40 BPMs and all that. I don't like that. Like to me, I'm not a fan of it for me to rhyme to. Now, if I'm listening to somebody else and they killing it, then that's cool. That's great. I'll enjoy the record. It's not like I'm turning it off because somebody rhymed to a slow joint. But when I pick beats, I don't like them 40 and 50 and 60 BPMs. Like my sweet spot for all the producers watching. The beats that I always love is 89, 90 BPM. When you at 89 or 90, I think Keep Me Company, the entire album, I think is 89. You know what I mean? So
but it had that consistent flow with it, though.
That's
you know
what I'm saying. I think the whole album is
too.
89 BPM, which is wild. It's like a DJ string. You know what I mean?
Pocket.
But, you know, I like, you know, mid to up-tempo beats. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, with the drumless, I love drumless. Just don't make it sound super slow, like elevated me, you know what I mean? But I love the drumless joints, you know. So he sent me a bunch of those, and when I heard that one, I literally texted him back. I said, "Yo, you made the album." You know what I mean? Like hadn't wrote the song yet or nothing. I just heard the beat, and I listened to it twice, and I just said, "Yo, bro, you made the album." You know what I mean? I was like, take this one off the table. It's done. That's you know what I mean? I'm gonna work on it this week, but it's done. Take it off the table.
Let me play a little bit of that one. Hold on.
Yeah, please.
How they wanna talk a parade but don't know the climate. My heroes told me army fatigues had open lining. It ain't hard to tell. The rewind button was talking braille, so you scrolling back on your phone is how you caught the trail. Follow the leader for everything that you start to feel, until it's time for your heart to get in the car for real. Running down on the spirit of everyone who shot the spirit out of us. Like, yo, hit the lights, make mama proud of us. Riding forth and back, or make a slum out of your village. You try to sympathize until you run out of forgiveness. Like, if we gon' be in this, then we coming by the pillage. Knowing privilege is not in the barcode. My For You page is Alan Payne in the CB4 Escape, where by default, my screen on dark mode. Like throwing your war clothes, suited in the name of survival. 14 like a 97 Averex model.
I'll say this though, Iceberg. It when you got a drumless beat, it allows somebody like Sky to really talk to the people.
Just dance on
like,
it.
You got to show up or not. You can't hide. You can't hide. You know, heads got big beats with wild drums and all types of theatrics. You can hide.
You can hide in the you can hide the cadence a little bit.
Right.
You can hide behind the wall. You know what I'm saying? But like, you can't hide on the drumless. Just adding to your point. Absolutely.
And this is another
your voice is coaching through that joint, man.
Yeah, no. So going from that Pardon Me joint to this one, crazy. Then we go to Sky is Like after that.
Yeah, using your bag sequencing, bro. Like on that.
The sequence is crazy.
Man, always. I know where I want everything to sit, even before I write the record. Like I'll hear a beat and go, yo, that's gonna start the album. Yo, that's gonna end the album. Yo, that's gonna be in the middle. Yo, that's gonna be right before the last one. Like, I can hear just off hearing the beats. Like, you know, before I even write the rhymes, I know where everything is gonna flow at. Like, oh, that record's gonna sit there. That record's gonna sit there. And it's like, dang, you didn't even write one word yet. But just sonically, from a sequencing aspect, I know where everything should sit at the table. You know.
Yeah. Hey man, if people just came in too. Yeah, let me play this real quick. People just came in. Let me play this little Sky's Like, man, just so they know what we talking about. Hold up, let me play this real quick.
Cloud is purchased, the beginning and end, the feeling intense. It feel like the ceiling is thin, and then everything above it got a sinister grin. You do the math and count up a play, the field get you. Where they talk you out the ride, the moment the field settles. For all the unknowns that roam in the field left you, I turned letters to numbers and left with a field medal. I'm Bobby Seale's spirit, Brian Leslie vision, the scheme handwriting with my mother in the kitchen. Layered, I got the right three. My diet Panero, my aura Jada, my height sheet. I deaded the hype beast, and memory of itching for a dub. With love will get you killed, and getting killed to get you love. Hell or heaven. If we talk God tier and sevens, then of course you know SKY is how you spell it. Sky's like the writer.
Amazing.
First of all, salute the DJ perfect. Manipulator, man.
You gotta have a project building in the background.
Yeah, the video was dope. What's the who? What was the idea saying I'm gonna flip this joint? And then and how did Manipulator already have it, or you just told him, hey, I need this?
We built that. So, okay. Excuse me. So it was an idea I had for a while. Just, you know, not knowing when I would do it or if I would do it. It was an idea I had for a while. It started because of the syllables in our name, Nas, Sky. So it works, right? Nas is like, Sky is like, it works. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's not like, you know, something is like, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like the one syllable, it worked. I was like, okay, word, that's dope. Obviously, you got to be of a certain weight class to play with something like that, you know? And, you know, safe to say, I feel highly of myself as far as the weight class. You know what I mean? I remember back in the day when heads would freestyle, go on the radio or mixtapes or whatever, if heads threw on Who Shot Ya, it was real. Or if you picked Who Shot Ya, it was real. It was like, yo, if you making a mixtape, you gonna play with Who Shot Ya? Yo, you gotta be of a certain weight class to play with that. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with Nas is like.
Facts.
So I knew when I was doing it that I wasn't gonna use the beat, because then at that point it's just a freestyle. You know what I mean? I wasn't gonna flip the sample, you know, because then it's like, you know what I mean? Like, why try to redo the sample now, the comparison? So I knew it was gonna be an original joint, but it had to have the same energy. But I wanted it to be totally different sonically, but had the same energy. I wasn't gonna flip a bunch of Nas lines. I flipped like 2 lines just to tie it together. You know what I mean? Right. But the scheme, of course, is Sky's like so-and-so-and-so. Sky's like so-and-so. I'm like so-and-so-and-so. I'm the feeling of so-and-so. Those are the patterns he did. I'm the feeling of, you know, I'm like so-and-so. And then Nas is like, he played with those 3 patterns. You know what I'm saying? So I was going to play with those 3 patterns, not in the same order. Not like, oh, he did it at the 1 minute and 12 marks. I got to do the same. Nah, like, you know what I mean? Like, nah, it was just me lyrical exercising and barring out and showing love. I also knew it wasn't going to be a record talking about Nas. It wasn't going to be like, yo, the first time I heard Nas, I was 94, and da-da-da-da-da. Nas gave us a bunch of classics. That's great. He did all of that. I feel that. But to just make a record like that and just, you know, that's something you do when somebody's no longer here. You know what I mean? So, like, I just wanted to bar out and go crazy and give my rendition of that. Like, yo, if we talking about somebody in that weight class for this generation, hi, my name is Scholar. You know what I mean? So, you know, on some Saint shit, like, hi, my name is Franklin. You know what I mean? Like, hi, my name is Scholar. You know what I mean? Like, come sit with me. Let me show you what this is. So, you know, that's what it was. And I knew who I wanted to make the beat. Like I said, I got a Rolodex full of producers, but it's like being a coach. You know who's good for what. Like, all right, we need 2 points at the end of the game. Yo, get the ball in his hand. Yo, we need somebody to get a good blocking foul. Yo, put him right there in the paint. Yo, we need a 3 right now. Yo, get him off the bench. Bring him in. Like, it's the same thing with putting an album together. So I knew who to go to. For all the producers I got that are amazing, that's Manipulator style. And he's a primo head. And he's an actual DJ. He did all the cuts. So it was like, I knew who to go to. I was like,
Manipulator, man.
Yeah, I was like, yo, bro, check this out. You got a few minutes? Let me break this idea down. And he was like, hell yeah. He was like, what? Hell yeah, let's go. So we started building on it. And then I found the idea. And I was like, yo, chop this. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, chop this. We had like 2 or 3 different versions with different ideas. But this one idea, I literally was playing it in the crib. It was an old joint. I threw the vinyl on. I was looking for joints. So I'm going through my jazz vinyl stash and I'm looking. And I was like, yo, that's so-and-so joint. And I threw it on. And I was like, hell yeah. That's the part right there. And I shot a little video. And then I sent him the video. I was like, yo, this joint right here. And then he was like, oh, I bet, yeah. And then he went and dug it up and, grabbed the idea and we chopped it up. And I told him the feel of the drums that I wanted. He played those drums out. It's not a loop. But I told him like the bounce in the pocket and the BPM. And he just went nuts. And he sent me like a little 30-second snippet. I said, bro, send me that right now, 5 minutes long, please. You know what I mean? Like, send me that right now.
That's when you hit the mic up, turn everything on. It's ready to go. Yep. I'm ready.
I said, bro, please bounce that at about. I usually get all my if I fall in love with the beat and I want to record, I'm like, yo, make that like a 5-minute bounce so I can write to it and I have enough room to record without looping it and all that. And then we figure out the stems later. I was like, yo, please bounce a 5-minute version of that right now. I'm gonna do it now. Amazing, he sent it. Man. Yeah, and I came down in the basement and I closed the door and that was it. You know what I mean?
What made you make it the first single though?
It made sense. I love the record. It's a banger. It's nuts. Crazy. People was gonna be looking forward to it. That's why even when I posted the teaser with the track list, I said, yeah, track 4 is exactly what you think it is. Like when you read the title, you like, wait a minute, what? Yeah. Sky's like, you know what I mean? That's why I was like, and track 4 is exactly what you think it is. You know what I mean? Not for no controversy, not for no bullshit, whatever. Just like, I love the record. It was a great way to lead off.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? It was a great way to get people excited and hear it and be like, oh, this what we in for? Yeah. That. You know what I'm
Plus
saying?
the video's dumb too. Especially with all the little clips, the clips in there that you threw in there too. Crazy.
Yeah, and because that's just to help walk people through it. But like the scenes of how we shot it, we mirrored Nas's like, right? So like there's a scene where Nas is in this in the staircase. He's leaning on the wall, he dap his man up.
Right.
He's standing in front of the P's and it's shooting upward at him. He's standing on the roof and it's shooting straight at him. He's in the bathroom rhyming with the corded mic in the bathroom. Preem is in the living room cutting up. We put Manip in the kitchen, but Preem is in the crib cutting up. The crib look a little crazy, a bunch of stuff around them. They in the hood, you know what I mean? So we mirrored the video, you know what I mean? The only thing we couldn't do, Nas had his name on Madison Square Garden. They said Nas is like, I was like, we can't do that, you know?
Right.
I wish we could if say Sky's like in Madison Square Garden.
I need that phone call, I
don't got that plug, you know what I mean? But that was the only part of the video we didn't mirror, but we mirrored the video to drive the point home. Like, I make sure people get it. You know what I mean? So, and to show homage and love, and it's done out of nothing but love, man. It's homage. It's not a dedication to Nas. It's just homage, man. Like, they was calling Nas the new Rakim, and he was flipping rod lines and flipping joints and flipping Slick Rick. Snoop flipped, Lottie Dotties, and you know what I'm saying? So like, we're not gonna act like it's the first time Heads ever flipped a song. You know what I mean? And made something of it and followed along with the pattern. I left the pattern alone for the most part. You know what I mean? It was just love, So that's where that came from, and I knew it would go. And but for me, I just also wanted to go crazy and bar out and do what I do with these triples and what I said, for all the unknowns that roam in the field left you, I turned letters to numbers and left with a field medal. A Fields medal is the highest medal in math. Like, that's an actual medal that you win in mathematics. It's like the Nobel Peace Prize for math. So, like, the smartest mathematicians in the world fight for a Fields medal every year. So I said, for all the unknowns that roam in the field left you, turn letters to numbers. Unknowns, letters to numbers is fractions. The letters is the unknowns. So for all the unknowns that roam in the field left you, when you roam in the field outside, when you running around not knowing what's going to happen, For all the unknowns that roam in the field left you, I turn letters to numbers like fractions. I turn letters to numbers and left with a field metal. Turn letters to numbers, get paid off the raps, whatever. So just shit like that. I'm like, how many of my fans know what a fields metal is? I don't know, but we gonna see. You know what I mean? So like, I know what one is, so we gonna see and have them sit in this AP class with me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and just, you know me, man, we could do 20 minutes per song, man. We could break down 20 minutes per song,
Well, this is why we like to dig into the creativity because of what you just said. Like, people don't understand when you dig into the mind of an MC, like what goes into that process. Because some people who don't rhyme or don't write, they just think y'all just out here just rapping to a beat, but it's so much more to that.
And it
you
flies
just broke
by.
down
Depending on the artist you're talking about, like me, it'll fly by you without a doubt. It'll fly by you. You'll
exactly.
Be like,
that's why we
crazy.
Like to
you gotta run it back. You gotta run the record back.
It'll be like, yo, that should be, and then you'll be like, wait a minute, wait, no, that shit was really crazy. Hold on,
right.
like, you know what I mean? So like, then and it keeps serving you, and that's on purpose, man. One, that's my style. Two, people know me for that. Those are the classes I was in when I was being raised on hip hop, right? Those are the classes I was in
like
with
Mighty Most. You mentioned
those professors I was talking about, them artists. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it makes the enjoyment higher for the listener. It makes the listener's enjoyment level different because it's like, yo, if I listen to an album once and I got everything, what's the point of listening to it again and again and again? It's like a book, right? Like we read a book. You read the book, you know the story. You watch a movie, you know the story. You know how it starts. You know Ricky gonna get clapped at the end. You know Trey gonna jump out the car. You know all that. But every time Boys in the Hood come on BET, you sit down and watch it. Why? Because it's great. You know what I'm saying? And you still
I gotta watch it again. I love that part. Yeah, I gotta watch it just for that part.
And you still finding little things in it. You be like, oh snap, I ain't realize that kid who's there, he came back at the end and da-da-da-da-da. I ain't realize. You still finding stuff. So it's the same thing with the music, at least for me. It's like, you could listen to my records 20 years from now and be like, yo, I just caught that. I didn't know what a fields metal was until my son was in school talking about it. Now yo, I thought you meant just running around in the field outside. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? And we could do that on every bar. We could do that on, we could do, every single bar we could do that. That's on purpose. And it's to separate me. And when you talking about the ones, you're going to have to talk about SK. Like, nah. I don't care what. Do you see what he's doing? Do you see what he did? Do you see what he's been doing? Like you said, yo, everybody playing with son. I don't care who co-sign who and who don't co-sign who. Nobody playing with what? Like, are you crazy? Who doing that? Heads rhyme, but who doing it? So that's what it's for. That's what it's for. You know what I mean?
Well, to me, I feel like, a lot of cats are talking, this MC's nice and this person's nice. Did you come into this one with a little chip on your shoulder? Like, man, I got to show these cats who's really out here. Like, who's
There's
really
always
out.
A chip. Always
I got to show these cats, like, man,
it's
the bargain. Because, again, we don't talk about pin game on this platform because a lot of times, man,
it's a sport.
It's a sport. It's the OGs coming out here, man, batting 1,000 right now. The young dudes, they gone right now. Like, I don't even know what they're doing on radio because there's no radio singer. There was no real summer hit or whatever, man. It's the OGs holding it down. So again, when you drop this joint or when we knew it was coming out, I said, hold up. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we heard the record and I said, man, this dude got a chip on the show. This ain't the jazzy swag stuff that Norman Scott did on the last one. This is just
that's it.
This is do-rag white beater joint in the booth.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta remind you.
Absolutely. Especially with Sky's like, you know what I mean? Especially with that, like, yo, don't play. And it's not like because anyone played, nah. But at the same time, you know, it ain't take somebody poking Jordan for him to go drop 40. You know what I mean? Like, since now he just gotta go drop 40. Now some nights, Dan Marley or somebody will say something. He'd be like, oh, word? All right. Yeah. Right. But it ain't take a Dan Marley or somebody poking the bear every night for Mike to go give you 35 or 40. It's just like him knowing what he had to do. But for me, yeah, totally. It's like, yo, like, and I get all the love. I get the love from y'all. I get all the love, but it's still, I'm always going to remind heads like, yo, listen, that's why I said, yo, I think I said it on an interview or something like, oh no, I said it on Instagram Live. My man Victorious, who shot the video for Sky's like, I sent him the record. I was like, yo, we're going to do the video, blah, blah, blah. So I sent him the records. He'd get familiar with it. And he texted me back. Oh, he called me. He said, yo, anytime you spell your name, I know what time it is. And I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, because I don't spell, I used to spell my name on everything, like in my rookie years, you know what I mean? My rookie year, I used to do that. But like, if I'm doing a story joint or record store day, sentiment, nah, like, you know what I mean? But when it's time to go off, when I spell my name, you know, oh, he's just about to black. He's not going to tell us a story about gentrification. He's not going to tell us a story about him growing up and his man getting knocked and he was there and they ran from the... He's not doing that on this record. This record, when he go SKYZOO, he's about to black. He's just about to
right here?
funk flex.
Right
He's about to stretch and Bobito it.
Man, heck yeah, man. Are obviously every song that you create has a certain sense of purpose to where it's like a puzzle piece to gel or fit into like a grand story, if you will, right?
Yeah.
With that said, obviously every single piece of each puzzle, or metaphorically speaking, the albums that you craft is important, right? Are there any songs that you definitely want folks in particular to catch wind of, and if so, why? Like
on this album?
Yes, on this album.
Yeah, I would say absolutely. Hope and Pray, Love Day, Half Bloom, The Soloist, because those are the whole album. I'm telling stories, even
that
when I'm
that backing you talking about, basically.
Right.
Yeah. And even like The Wager, right? Like there's a ton of stuff on The Wager that's just me telling this story of what was, what wasn't, what was supposed to be, what could have been. You know, that's the theme of it all. But those story moments of me breaking certain things down, and when we get to those records, you know, in the interview, of course, you know, then I'll dig deeper into those moments. But like you said, I guess the back half, you know,
back end crazy.
Yeah, of just like, yo, this is where we are in the story. This is okay. Wow. Like, oh, you know, so absolutely. But all of them, man, you know, they all your kids. I love every record. I love every single record. That was for what we at 5 now.
So this thing. So that the 5 is that Devotion joint, and again, the Conductor Williams. So let me play this before you go in on this one. Hold on, bro.
Yeah.
Conductor. The writer and the conductor, a pen and a baton, her rifle tucked by the shutters, thumbing the Quran with a Jesus piece in a duffel. Duck down alumni, I got signed cause of ruckus, with a bowl of Apple Jacks in my living room. Sights on a Carter with a Pookie to get us through. He said it himself, I follow suit like an interview. The neighbors throwing hands upstairs made the ceiling move. My crib was 18F by the incinerator. When Brenda had a baby, my crush wanted to imitate her. Same way we saw preacher kids turned into Gator. Same way that I could put your fave on a ventilator. I purify all of this and still reroute to where the brink's at. Heaven in a Ferrero, chocolate tie shrink wrap. In front of the school, blowing beaties out the pink pack. Outgrew the bracelet, had the extra link that devoted for me and mine the way you know it. Run back for me and mine until it's over. Run back for me and mine, shoulder to shoulder. Run back, keep that in mind, you chalk it up.
Everybody saying the Devotion, they favorite track on the joint, man.
Yeah, Devotion is nuts, man. Shout out to my man Conductor.
How did got it? Is that an old beat? Is that something that you got this year? Like, how did that come about?
Yeah, he sent me that. He sent me like
McFly.
2 packs. I want to say like a year ago.
Okay.
And we have been talking about working. We've been talking about working for like a little over a year. Okay. You know, DM, switch numbers, get on the phone. So, you know, we get on the phone and vibe. And, you know, we have been circling the waters for a while. Like, yo, yeah, you know, we got to get something, man. Blah, blah, blah. Let me know what you're working on. You know, doing a lot of that. And he had sent me like 2 packs and there was a bunch of heat in there. Crazy enough, one of the packs he sent me, the first one, it was a while ago because there was a beat in there. And I was like, yo, I hit him. I was like, yo, this joint is crazy. And he was like, oh, man, that one just got snatched up. It was the Leon Thomas joint, the one with him and Wale.
Okay. Ooh,
I have that beat in the bowl. You know what I mean? So, like, but when I heard it, I was like, yo, this one right there, this is nuts. Let me play with this one. And then he hit me back. He was like, oh, man, that one just got snapped. But he didn't say who it was. He couldn't say. But he was like, oh, that just got snatched. And like 3 months later, Leon Thomas album came out. I was like, oh, they go to beat. You know what I mean? So, you know, so I have that instrumental. You know what I mean? But, you know, so he had sent me a pack. And then, you know, a while, maybe a couple months later, he sent me another pack. He'll just randomly hit me like, yo, bro, I got a new pack. And just send me a link. And, so now I'm sitting on these beats. And I'm just going through beats from different people and different things, and something said, yo, go back to that conductor folder. And I went to it, and I was like, yo, yeah, this one. I was like, I wonder if this one got snatched. Because his work gets snatched fast, man. Like, you'll ask him about beats, and they'll be gone. Like, he'll send you a pack, and like a week later, 2 days later, you'll hit him and be like, nah, that's gone. That's gone. You know what I mean? Like, his work getting snatched up in the street. You know what I mean? So, I just knew it was gone. I was like, I bet you this beat is gone, man. And I hit him. I was like, yo, what's up with this, man? He was like, nah, that's open, man. What you thinking? And I was like, I actually did the record and then hit him. You know what I mean? I said, let me just go get busy and catch flight on this. And you know, I did the record. I was like, yo, what's up with that joint? He was like, nah, that's open. What you thinking? And I was like, this. And I sent it. And then he was like, hell yeah, that's yours. Like, he wrote back, hell yeah, that's yours, man. It's off the table now. He was like, you bodied that. I was like, yo, good looking. He was like, yo, that's yours, man. Like, I was like, that, you know what I mean? And we worked it all out and did everything. And, you know, it was all love. But that's one of my favorite joints, man. You know, so I mean, like I said, we could break down lyrics. We could do 20 minutes a song, man. You know, my man vowed to help me follow my call. We watched Nelly turn into a pop star of a drive-by song. You know what I mean? Like,
facts.
I'm going down, baby. Yo, street in the Range Rover, sweet baby, cock ready to let it go. Man, it came a pop star, TRL. Oh, was in the video throwing choppers.
They didn't know what you're talking about.
I'm 18. FUBU suit on. That's why I said it. You know, my FUBU suit was black. My all black FUBU sweatsuit, like we all had.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
sitting there. Right. I said, yo, we over here trying to get on. Yo, son is a pop star making a drive-by song. What we supposed to do out here? So me and my man, that really had me and my man like, yo, what the fuck is going on out here? So now we sitting in the park, bottle of Henny, 2 red cups. Yo, what we gotta do? What the fuck is happening out here? Be like that. That's the conversation when you 18, 19, trying to go. You know what I mean? Like, you playing the game. They say play the game this way, then they play the game that way, and then they keep changing the rules. And there's nothing that Nelly, shout to Nelly, but it's just like, wait a minute, the market is saying this, then the market is saying that, then so that's what that was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I sat back like the Mac. My FUBU suit was black, like all of these defining moments that be coming in 2 packs. The defining moment Jordans come in 2s, they be black. Your defining moments usually come in 2s, like should you do it or should you not? It's 2 ways, yes or no. All of these defining moments that be coming in 2 packs. I took the bottle when he passed in my cup, plastic, Hennessy splashing, blending in with my fabric. So we sitting there, you know, you drinking a little bit now, it hits you. So you might, you know what I mean? You might put your hand down and get a little splash. Oh shit. But my FUBU sweatsuit is black, so you can't see the spill. You know what I mean? So just painting the picture, you know what I mean? Like, you know,
that was ill right
this
there.
This is the one I had to run back the most, and then to me, like, this was the slowest one almost like, just to go back and just hear everything. Like, again, you had to go hard in the paint on that pocket, and you killed this one, man. Like I said, Suta Conductor.
Yeah,
he killed this one. And then also this would be in the middle joint. Then we go into that Love Date joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me play a little bit of this one, man.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites right here.
You know, it's love day at the park today, baby. It's love day. I'm giving out love. Man, I had you working on your left hand and all that, right? Yeah. When our love can't be tainted in the least. How we wore that on our jackets and it stayed there on our sleeves. I put culture over money. I put strangers over me. Yeah, I still picked up a bag, but ain't no range what it could be. Word to all that I supplied when the stage was left to me. And all the ones that I inspired and the stadiums they reached. I ain't have to miss a meal to be the change I want to see. It's like I'm the cure of books. I'm the haven that you need. I'm from where you went outside and they was waving in your reach. And you ran over obliged and they paid you for your peace. Peace of mind, peace of time, peace of cane, peace of rhyme. When you piecing it together, son, it all seems sublime. The subliminals is only for protecting all the innocent. Try to sympathize with who be riding out to get a brick. Heard they give out trophies for Ramada and La Quinta trips. But no, I give you all the other side of the expensive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing, bro. Hey.
Thank you.
One of the things that stood out in conjunction to the name of this song and the meaning of it is when you said something to the effect of, and forgive me if I slightly butcher it, Sky, but you said something like, I put culture over money, I put strangers over me.
Man, I'm so glad you brought that up.
Okay.
That, if I had to pick 20 Skyzoo lines, that is one of my favorite lines I ever wrote.
Wow.
Without a doubt.
Impactful. It's impactful.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? Like
Go
when I
in.
wrote it, I stopped. When I wrote it, I stopped. And I was like, oh shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes that happens, you wow yourself. You know what I mean? Like when I wrote it, I'm sitting there typing, I put culture over money, I put strangers over me. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, hold up. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, it's just yeah, I still picked up a bag, but ain't no range what it could be. So what I'm saying is like, again, looking back, views of a lifetime, right? You looking back on what was and what wasn't. I put culture over money. I put strangers over me, meaning I could have easily went out here and made records that would have had me in a $300 million tax bracket. Call your mother, tell her you don't got to go to work ever again. XYZ. I now in the next line, I said, yeah, I still picked up a bag, but ain't no range what it could be. So don't think I'm sitting here broke. I'm not broke. But what I am saying is, ain't no range what it could be. Like there's no telling the range of how much this could have been, like how much money and success could have been had if I put myself before the people, before the strangers. I put strangers over me, meaning I said, I'm gonna make this music, make this art, speak for the people, speak for the culture, lyricism, stories, black folk, people of color, pride, who we are, carry that on me. And I probably won't get as much as I could if I just went the other way and did all this money. And I'm doing it for strangers. You know what I mean? I'm doing it for people who I don't know. Y'all know me because you listen to the music. You listen to the music, so you know me. I don't know everybody. I know y'all, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know y'all as far as the people out there in the world. Everybody in the comments showing love, I don't know y'all. So I put strangers over me. Imagine putting a stranger in the street over yourself. That's what we do when we on this side of the fence. I put culture over money. I put strangers over me. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing too, man. Like the most of the people that have your skill level will say, you know what, F it, man. I'm gonna just basically just do negative raps, negative situations, because that's gonna get me the most views.
Go for the gusto,
and salute the Nelly. But the whole thing you talking about a drive by in a pop song. You know what I'm saying? So to me, a lot of cats will say, man, the only way you can win is by doing it how some other cats did, and that's what we really respect about the bar game that you do.
Absolutely.
It's not only it's the gift and the curse. Like sometimes, man, I got this gift that I can go and just do this and get the bag, and F these cats, man. But again, you do a lot of stuff for the culture, and again, who's rapping with a clip like yours but still speaking positivity and real stories and real raps, man. So again, that's why this album to me is so special. Again, this is really not music per se. It's really art. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, like this record just kind of just went dumb with it.
That's one of my favorite songs, and I got a T story behind this record, man.
Okay.
It almost didn't happen because the way everything was panning out, the album EP, whatever you want to call it, I call it an EP only because it's short. It's like 9 records.
Yeah. Okay.
But everybody in my circle like, yo, you bugging? That's an album in 2025. I'm like, I guess, you know what I mean? Like I'm used to 12.
And there's no skips
songs.
Too, so it's definitely
you know what I'm
no
saying?
skips.
But you know, call it an EP, LP, call whatever you want as long as you call it great. But you know, the project was done. It was 8 songs. It was everything except Love Day, and I was done. I think I finished it October 30th. I was done. October 30th, 31st, you know, Halloween, my son, blah, 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 blah. And then November 1st, I had to go to Chicago for a show with my man Fillmore Green. Shout out to my man Fillmore Green in Chicago. He had his Fillmore and Friends Festival. Yeah. And so I went out there for that. And when I was out there, I ran into my man Johnny at the show. Johnny manages Thelonious Martin. And me and Thelonious Martin have worked a couple times. He did See a Key with me and Jadakiss. He did Women Who Could Cook. So he's done some heavy records in my catalog, you know what I mean? So he was like, yo, you know, bro been cooking. I got a new pack for you. So I was like, yo, send that. You know what I'm saying? I said, but I just finished like 2 days ago. I said, I literally just wrapped up. The project is done. But send a pack anyway, of course. This ain't a stranger in the street, you know what I mean? I was like, send that. But I'm thinking I just want to hear some dope beats that he did, and maybe I'll use something later. You know what I mean? A lot of times people give me beats, and I'll sit on the beats because I'll be like, yo, this is crazy, but it don't fit this album. It don't fit this concept, this theme. It'll stick out like a sore thumb with the rest of these beats. So I'm going to save it. I got a beat right now that's so ridiculous. I've had this beat for like 5 years. I had this beat since 2020. I'm just waiting for the right project to get it. This beat so nuts, man. Who did it? My man Cuddy Fresh did it, man. This beat so nuts, man. Like, but and shout out to him out of North Carolina. But I just been sitting on it because I'm just waiting for the sound to make sense with it. But anyway, so I'm thinking it's gonna be one of those moments. And I heard this beat, and I was like, oh nah, the album not done. Literally, I was like, the album not done. I was like, I gotta sneak this on here. You know what I mean? So now that in my mind, the album is done. Sonically, everything, the puzzle is done. How do you fit another piece in the puzzle and make it work? So most people would have did that record and slapped it at the end because okay, the album's done. Where am I gonna put this? Oh, I'm gonna put it right there, Devotion. Okay, bet. You know what I mean? So that's still now your sequence hat really gotta come on because now you gotta break this apart and put it back together. You know what I mean? It was together perfect. Now you gotta break it apart and put it back together. So but yeah, this was a last minute record, man. This was a last minute record. He sent me this pack and I text him and I was like, hey yo. I was like,
hey, yo,
this one right here.
I need that.
You know what I mean? This one right here. And I just fed off of the idea of, you know, and I would love, that's why I started Can't Be Tainted in the Lease. So it's like I'm finishing the sentence because, you know, he says, our love in it. Our love can't be tainted in the least. How we wore that on our jackets and it stayed there on our sleeves. You know what I mean? Like, our love can't be tainted. We wore that on our jackets, baby. Like, it stayed there on our sleeves. I put culture over money. I put strangers over me. And then the second verse, and again, it just plays into the concept of the album of sacrifice, looking back, you know, was it worth it? I said, you know, I missed my son's first steps working on Retropolitan. So you saying that you never heard it, I got a problem with. You know what I mean? I start the second verse like that. But then I show love where I'm like, shout out to who wording for wording and who acknowledges. So I'm acknowledging and showing love to everybody who has heard all my music, right? For the people who, so they won't feel slighted. Like, nah, I heard that. What you talking about, Sky? I love Retropolitan. Shout out to you. I recognize you. Don't think I don't see you. I see you. I'm just talking about these other motherfuckers who I also see. You know what I mean? Like, you know, everybody always talks about their kids' first steps. You know, I'm super dad. I'm here with my son every single day, every single moment. But that was the one major moment I missed because I was in the studio with Pete. You know what I mean? I was in the studio with Pete when I got the FaceTime that was like, oh my God, look who's walking. You know what I mean? And it was bittersweet. I'm cheesing in the studio like, yo. And then I hung up and I was like, damn. You know what I mean? Like everybody talks about my kid's first steps, you know what I mean? But it wasn't because I'm an absent dad. Hell no, you have to kill me to be that. But it was because I was out working, you know what I mean? And that sacrifice, you know? So I missed my son's first steps working on Retropolitan. So you saying that you never heard it, I got a problem with it. Like I'm insulted. I take that shit personal. You know what I mean? Like shout out to who wording for wording, everybody who's spitting it word for word. Shout out to who wording and who acknowledging. We watching Grammy noms get thrown out like empty promises. And speaking of a promise, all I promised you was me. You adjusted out your norms and I honored your beliefs. Like you don't normally listen to the doubles and triples and having to do all the work of digging into the lyrics and the layers because that's not what you used to out here. So when you listen to me, you adjusting your norms. And I'm going to honor that. I respect that. I appreciate that. So I'm going to honor that. You adjusted out your norms and I honored your beliefs. With a playlist full of proof, not a problem in the least. They said my catalog was bulletproof. Robert Townsend lead. You know what I mean? So I'm like, media man. You know what I mean? Bulletproof.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we know that. Yeah, you
I went to the School of Liquid Swords and then the School of Betha and then the Lee Morgan class to fill up my electives. I'm painting me. You got this type, but then you got this type, then you got the jazz shit. So I'm painting me right there, you know what I mean? You either getting started going guillotine impressive, I'm still talking liquid sword shit, or hoping that the mason jar could fit behind the dresser. So you either getting busy with the bars or you outside hiding the mason jar behind your dresser, but they're also mason, mace, you know what I mean? So I'm now taking it back to Betha, you know what I mean? Like, hoping that the mason jar could fit behind the dresser, straps hanging off my jumper at the playground in the peas, made the chocolate drop. I used to think I ran with ABC. My hair was red too. Like if you knew me, my hair was red. I had the flat top. My hair was red. And you know, I remember being in the park and little girl. I'm like 10 years old, and little girls like, "Are you in ABC? You look like Red." You know what I mean? Like kid Red in the group. So that's why I said that. You know what I mean? And the jumpers, you know, the straps hanging off the jumper. We all had the jumper in 91, 92. You know what I mean? So like, straps hanging off my the jumper, the playground, Aisha, ABC. I'm trying to walk you through it until we get to the ABC part, so you could see the footsteps, you know, straps hanging off my jumper at the playground in the peas, made the chocolate drop Aisha's at the playground, cooling, you know what I mean? The whole shit, Aisha, playground, ABC. Then I get into the Friday shit. My hair was red too, red coupe. Later when I sped through, I had to work on Friday, but nobody ever read Zoo. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't no Debo's over here. Nobody ever read Zoo. Fuck that. You know, I'm doing all that, and I'm talking the Faces of Death tape. I don't know. We are around the same age. I think y'all know Faces of Death.
Yes.
You know.
Oh yeah.
So it just goes, man. It just goes and goes and go. You know what I mean? It's a domino. It just never stops. You know what I mean?
Hey, we got Leroy Green in the building, man. You know, he's our rap brother too in rhymes too. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Leroy. And he's basically asking you, Skyzoo, in your opinion, is the double entendre the cheat code to other forms of wordplay?
It can. First of all, shout to we said Leroy.
Leroy Green, man.
Shout to Leroy Green. Much love to you, baby. It can be, but you gotta know how to work it. Like a lot of people be talking doubles. It's funny. A lot of people be talking doubles, but it's a Big Mac. Like if you get a Big Mac nowadays, the bread is bigger than the actual burgers.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So like a lot of people be like, yeah, I got doubles. I be kicking doubles. And
It's all
the
bread.
sun is hot and bright. What? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just stupid shit. They're like, that ain't no double, bro. Like, it's a Big Mac double. Yeah, it's 2 burgers, but they this thin. You know what I'm saying? That ain't no double. Like, you perpetrate that. Double is
burgers
this.
and mad
You know
bread.
what I mean? Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So it can be for sure, but you gotta know how to do it. You know, you gotta really know how to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like my man said, you know, these backstabbers gonna turn me into the OJ. You know what I mean? Like you gotta know how to do it. You know, like when Jay said that. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta know how to do it. You know?
Yeah.
And
Facts.
somebody asked me recently in an interview. They was like, "Yo, like I was breaking something down, and we went through this long breakdown of like 2 bars, and it was like a 5-minute." He was like, "Yo, how the hell do you think of this stuff?" And I was like, I think I'm a little bit of a psycho. Like, I think I'm a little bit of a weirdo when it comes to this pen. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a very normal, level-headed, cool person. We hang out, we drink Henny, and we cool out and watch the game and eat wings. But when it comes to the pen, I turn into like a Rain Man. Like, you know what I mean? It gets weird because in my mind, I'm like, if I say this, that I'm writing it, and then I don't say, yo, how can I say the wildest, craziest, break your brain shit? It just comes to me. Like I'll be writing, and then it'll just, my brain will be like knocking, yo, do this next. You know what I mean? Like, yo, do this next. And it just happens, and I'm just moving, and then I'm like, yo, that shit, like the Juno shit on Tags at the moment. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the Juno, like the Juno scheme is one of my favorite schemes. It's so layered and wild. Like, you know, the actress Ellen Page, changing transgendering to a man. Now she's Elliot. The L in a page, the L in a page, the L in a page can make them change where they suit go. You know, it just happens. Like my brain just goes, yo, now go here. Yo, now go here. Like I don't sit there and say, how am I gonna double this shit? It just automatically goes. Like my mind thinks, yo, you have to double it. You know what I mean? Like my mind just goes there. So, you know, but the thing too, to tie up Leroy's question, a lot of times people will do that and it's overbearing and it's corny and it comes off as like talking down to you. Like I do the shit and it's we conversing and it's fly and it's cool and it's ill and it's suave, and you be like, oh shit, wait a minute, I didn't even PP said that. You know what I mean? Like, yo, because I'm not, yo, double. Nah, it's just like, yo, my hair was red too, red coupe. Later when I sped through, I had to work on Fridays, but nobody ever read Zoo. Fuck that. And it's like, whoa, hold on, slow down. Hold on. You know what I mean? Like
running back.
It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. Right, you know what I mean? So a lot of people try to take that lane and they pull it off, but it's not enjoyable. It's like, oh, that was dope.
They trying too hard.
That was witty. Oh, that was witty. I figured it out, but it wasn't enjoyable. Make this shit enjoyable. You know what I mean? Like on Record Store Day, when I opened it up, you know, and I'm like, that's a 6-eye kind of blue type of red sight. You know what I mean? Like the Miles Davis red kind of blue, the red joint is the one with the 6 eyes. Like, you know what I mean? So like throwing doubles on a chick record, like, how do you do that? You know what I mean? Throwing doubles on a female oriented record, how do you do that? It has to be enjoyable. This record is for girls. They don't give a fuck about no double. You know what I mean? But when you do it, the male listeners who may hear it be like, ooh, he still went crazy. Because you think, oh, we're gonna do a girl record. It's gonna be light. It's
like
it's
last
gonna be
year's
light.
record
Okay.
store. Yeah.
Nah, okay, whoa, hold on, dance, we got doubles all over the place. And then when the girls figure it out, they're like, ooh, oh, snap, because it still was sexy and fly and enjoyable. Oh, you know what I mean? So that's what separates the boys from them. And that's why I say, like, a lot of people nice, a lot of people not elite. I think my only gripe nowadays is everybody who nice get looked at as elite. And I think that's because of the fence. There's so many people on each side, and the fence is like, there's so many people on one side of the fence that's doing the bullshit that when you hear a little bit of the good, you assume it's amazing. You know what I mean? And so that's my only gripe. And it ain't a personal thing about anyone in particular, but just in general, a lot of people nice, man. Everybody elite, everybody mellow, everybody T-Mac, everybody Cole and Bron, and everybody Steph. Come on, you know what I mean? Like, you got some guys who get busy, had dope careers, made millions, had a good, they may have been an all-star once or twice. Everybody is mellow. Everybody is cold. You know what I mean? Come on, we got to cool it. You make one all-star game, you cold? Nah, like, you know what I mean? So
you ain't there.
You make one all-star game, you Bron, or you the greatest shooter ever. You step So there's a difference between nice and elite. You know what I mean?
But I think this year is showing that though. You know, the Raekwon situation, you know what I'm saying? The De La Soul situation. Again, Jay Camp always brings that De La Soul up, man. When we talk about elite, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Again, as we go into this 7th record, man, again, no skips, by the way. This Hope and Pray joint.
Yeah, Hope and Pray, man.
Let me run into this real quick, man. Hold up, man.
They told me most leaders of the revolution was broke. Hard-headed scholar trying to pick and choose how this go. Like I could get hold of this money without losing my rope. Till there's a knot around the bag and it don't move how you hope. Told my teammates at the park that was true to they post, but couldn't show up there tomorrow cause they knew what they know. And then it be on you alone or what to do when they float. 100 jumpers in the dark with fiends shooting up soap. Yo, me and A will play the alley till 3 something. And bitches threw they box in the box like we need something. And ain't no other feeling like the feeling when these come in and you don't got no reason to run, but you flee from them. That secondhand smoke. As long as you stand close, the scent becomes yours too. So Jimmy Choo antidote. The more that the camera rolls, the more they get the murder your pride. To everyone who left the park on the earlier side, know how we ride, but I hope the best for you. Send that out to you and to whoever sit next to you. And if you gotta leave, may they jump off the steps with you. Never want to graze on you, keeping what's left of you.
Yeah.
Baseline was nasty, though.
Crazy.
Manipulator holding it down again.
Manipulator, man. That's my role. Manipulator got it right now, man. That beat, like he made that beat. Just going back into, I know we talked about production a lot on the show. He made that beat for Keep Me Company. And I held it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's what I mean, where like I'll hear something, I'll love it. Just because it ain't make the album don't mean I
this
love
fits
it.
on this one though.
Right.
It's just you know what I mean? I was like, yo, I love this beat. I was like, this beat is incredible. I was like, it just don't fit everything else on Keep Me Company records, like Home Away From Home, Esoteric, those fit, you know what I mean? But I was like, this beat don't fit that. But I'm doing something with it. And I told him, I was like, yo, I'm using this. He was like, nah, that's yours, bro. Like, nobody even gonna hear that. Like, you can use that in 10 years if you want. Like, that's yours. And but then for this, I was like, this fits the energy. This is the party. This beat is supposed to go to this party. You know what I mean? That other party, nah, this the guest list for this beat. You know what I mean? And yeah, I love that record, man. There's so many layers, man. You know, listen how they fell through on KL2s. They calling Kawhi shaky. I'm worried about Kyron Lacey. You know what I mean? Like KL2, you know, like the KL2 project with Pablo Torre when, you know, he tried to, you know, open up and expose Kawhi Leonard, you know, and it was called KL2. The Pablo Torre, the project with that tree company with the Clippers, it was called KL2. Like his business was called KL2.
Yeah.
We worried about that KL2. I'm worried about this KL2. Kyron Lacey, rest in peace, who called himself KL2 because his name was Kyron Lacey and he wore number 2. They calling Kawhi shaky. I'm worried about Kyron Lacey. Don't mistake me. You know what I mean? Like, listen how they fell through. That's what I mean, though. My mind, I go, okay, KL2s, okay. yo, do this next. Yo, do this next. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way my thought process works when I'm writing. So, that third verse, there's a moment on the third verse, man. Anybody in the building from Chicago that's on the chat or whatever, man, when I said, how did I start it? I said, run it fast enough where you could trace the noise coming out your reflection like you Ruthie Ray McCoy. May she finally rest. Peace to her family. Maybe they finally blessed. May nobody be next. So Ruthie Ray McCoy was a woman in Chicago on the West Side in the late 80s, early 90s. And she lived in the P's or whatever on the West Side. And in her building, what they was doing in the projects back then, if you go in the bathroom, the medicine cabinet, the mirror that you open up to be a medicine cabinet, you could take the medicine cabinet off the wall and it would be a big hole so you can go through to the next apartment. And they did that so that the plumbers could access the pipes easier when they had to fix leaks and whatever. So what was happening, people was going in people's cribs through that.
Damn.
They would take the mirror off the wall, so now you got a big 6 foot wide hole. I think it was however wide a bathroom mirror is, but it was 6 feet deep. Like it would go out 6 feet into the next apartment, right? So if I live on this side and your apartment is behind mine, all I gotta do is take the mirror off the wall, unscrew it, take the mirror off the wall, and climb through and kick in your mirror. I'm in your crib. You at work. I know what time you go to work every day, but ain't nobody home for 8 hours. I'm in your crib. So they was doing that to Ruthie Ray McCoy's crib, and she was calling the cops like, yo, somebody's coming in my house, somebody's breaking in. How are they getting in? She was like, they coming through my mirror. And the cops was like, what? They coming through your mirror? So they didn't believe her. She got robbed and killed. They came through her mirror. She got robbed and killed. Her real story was the inspiration for Candyman. So that's why the movie Candyman is in Chicago, in Cabrini Green. You look in the mirror and he's in there attacking you in your bathroom mirror. That was the inspiration for Candyman. Yep. So in that 2 bars, that's where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Like, run it fast enough where you could trace the noise, where you could hear it. You could trace the noise coming out your reflection like you Ruthie Ray McCoy, the mirror in your reflection. Coming out your reflection like you Ruthie Ray McCoy. May she finally rest. Peace to her family. Maybe they finally blessed. May nobody be next. So it's just keep up. You just everybody just you on the train together. We riding. You know what I mean? The train don't stop though. You know what I mean? So that's what it comes down to. Look up Ruthie Ray McCoy when you got time. You do a deep dive, man. There's articles from the early 90s about it. They thought she was crazy. They was calling her crazy. She was like 55 years old, black woman. And they was like, yo, this bitch is crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like coming through the wall, coming through the mirror.
That's wild.
She was like, they coming through my mirror. I could hear them. And they went in there and robbed her and they clapped her. You know what I mean? And it was like, and then when the story started coming out, people in the hood was like, oh yeah, that's what heads do. They go through the wall and rob you. Like they climb through your bathroom mirror and rob you. That's insane. You know what I mean? And the projects built it like that. They built the hole in the wall like that. Ruthie Ray McCoy. So, that's what I was talking about right there,
Again, this is why this is art, man. This ain't to call it music is a little different.
Name somebody, and I don't mean literally, but name somebody doing that. You know what I mean? Like, and we're not gonna name names, but name somebody. I'm just being hypothetical. Name somebody doing that. Let's just keep it again.
I love the fact that, of course, man, we know you pen for other people, man, and can make hits and all that. Again, to me, these are more important than the hits.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying?
Without a doubt. That's the sacrifice that I talked about on the album.
Yeah, anytime you drop an album, man, it's literally I gotta stop what I'm doing and just go zone in. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
I want. I don't want you playing my shit when you cleaning your house. I don't want you playing my shit when you know what I mean? Like, nah. Or you at the park playing ball. No. Listen to my shit when you driving 3 hours to your mom's crib for the holidays. Listen to my shit when you in the gym for 2 hours straight on the treadmill and throwing them up. Listen to that's on the train. You got a 45-minute ride to the job on the train. That's when you listen to
zone
my shit.
out to
you
it.
Know what I mean?
Yeah. And again, like I said, man, hey, man, again, go stream the album, man. We talking about Skyzoo, Views of a Lifetime. Let's be clear. That's what we talking about tonight. But again, go cop the situation. When the vinyl goes out, go cop the joint. Go hit the Bandcamp joint. Go buy the joint, because again, this is art, man. Again, like if you love this stuff, don't say you love it and just listen to it and go to something else, man. Yeah. There's a lot of records out, but this thing is different, man. You know, it's a Picasso type of joint.
Nah, you got the link in here, man. Let's be clear. You gotta peel these layers, man. And it's always gonna be like that with me. You gotta peel these layers. Yeah. You know, there's sometimes you want a meal where you could just run through it real quick. Cool, that's great. But sometimes you want to go to grandma's house and really sit down, and it's an 8-course meal on that plate. It's heavy. She
pull that big crock pot out. You know you're gonna eat. You know what I mean?
Here it is.
She got the iron skillet.
Come over here, that. You know what I'm saying?
So,
you know that's just what it is. You know. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, like I said, man. Again, we just kind of talked about the Hope and Pray joint, man. But this soloist joint. Let me play this joint real quick, man. Again, man, we gotta go in.
Yeah.
Definition of one-on-one. Literally, figuratively, it's how it been with me. The lens wide enough to make room, and everyone in sight in case you trying to find your way to them. Playing with a price, I survived enough to stay tuned. Counting with no lights, had to find your way to pay dues. And what was due to me is sort of what would usually be held somehow on the side for the far and few between. And you start to come alive, had the thoughts that you believe. Then they run down in the skies, and they want to know who you be. Make sense of it, still give and take. I gave into it. The irony that God gave me grace and gave me penmanship. Try and make the two hold hands, they can't envision it. Like how my crowd is who be revolting and who be swimming in. Still talking code like I'm still out with the cold reds. Keeping it considering what spoke less. For your consideration has a listener involved. Every assalamu alaikum needs a walaikum salam. And the song turns out to be all a single note. Who would have assumed that you was gonna sing alone? Dealing with desire till it all get too close. Pull up out the driveway, open up the road, and the song.
The other guys got.
I ain't gonna lie, Sky.
Oh,
I got Black Star vibes off that, though.
Yes, that's my bro, Mighty Joe Young and them, man. Yeah, the other guys. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Black Star vibes off that.
I love working with them. You know, they're family, without a doubt. Joe is like family, man.
You was just
smooth
in that one, bro.
Yeah, when you got this from the other guys. First of all, salute to the other guys, man.
Absolutely.
You was smooth. Oh, man.
What was the whole thing on this one, man?
The soloist, you know, sometimes this one I'm really talking about the industry and getting in the game and being in the game is kind of direct. This one is very direct on that idea alone of like trying to get in the game. Now you in the game and what happens. And it's like sometimes it's just better to be a soloist, like to run through this shit by yourself. You come in the game with crew, you know, you try to find crews and managers and people to sign with and labels and whatever it may be, and then shit goes left and shit goes every way but right. You know what I mean? Left, down, corner, whatever. And then it's like, yo, you just sit back, you be like, yo, shit, it might just be better to be a soloist. Like, yo, it might be better to be by myself. Be like, man. That's why I said, you know, pulling out the driveway, open up the road, like, yo, I'm out, man. Like, might be better to be a soloist, you know? So like that's what I'm doing on here. And it's just like we talking about trying to get on in the game and being in, and then when you in the game and the rules changing and all those different things I say, and then disloyalty from certain people and deception and all in the third verse and just different things. And it's just like, yo, it might be better to be a soloist. The only person that's not gonna let me down is me. You know what I mean? So, and that go for everybody. Sometimes it might just be better to be a soloist, you know. So that's what I'm saying on here. And it's definitely one of my favorite records, you know. Like I said, we're gonna jazz it up at some point on a Skyzoo album, if not the whole album. You know what I mean? So these last two joints, we get real jazzy, you know, but still fit the mold. It's not like this and Pardon Me aren't related. You know, they're still brothers in the same house. They still bear resemblance. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you hear this and then you hear something totally different on some other shit and you're like, yo, what the fuck is this, man? This is some,
definitely fits.
You know, 3 6 Mafia type beat. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they still together. You know what I mean? Like, they still make sense together in the house together, yo. You know, this brother's a little wild. This brother's real calm and cool, but they got resemblances and things in common because they come from the same blood. So that's what it is, you know. So even if we jazzing it up on a project like this, it's still gonna fit. There's no sore thumb. Like when you heard it, you didn't think, yo, we got this, but they don't match. You didn't think that. You just thought, yo, this ride is riding the way it's supposed to ride. You know what I mean?
It's almost like a movie score.
Yeah. movies go certain ways. You know what I mean? Like the whole movie ain't slow and the whole movie ain't hype and fast.
Facts.
But
You got
how do
act
you get
one, act two,
this
act three.
and that and this and that to all match like a movie? You know what I mean?
India Sky said, man, she said love, but she said Mind of a Saint is a classic. And to me, this is where that song kind of gave that vibe back into as well. You know
Thank
what I mean?
you. You said what's the name?
India Sky.
India Sky.
Okay, word. Tell I appreciate it. Obviously you watching. Thank you, love.
Yeah.
Yes, Mind of a Saint is a classic. I told Heads if I had to pick like my favorite joints, man, it's Mind of a Saint, In Celebration of Us, and Keep Me Company. And now this is there as well, you know what I mean, without a doubt.
Okay.
Those are, those are like my personal favorite Skyzoo albums in a catalog where I love every single album of mine. You know what I mean? You love all your kids, you know, but you know, those are my Michaels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so, you know, and Mind of a Saint, In Celebration of Us, Keep Me Company, and now this one is there. This one is definitely at that table. This, you know, Janet coming up. You know what I mean? Making them waves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Janet coming up, making a star of her own. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's that type of thing.
This album to me was that flu game situation. You know what I mean? Like that where you just stand right there and you're like, yeah, this I won the joint. You know what I'm saying? And flu game joint. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it had everything that you just said, from the Pete Rocks to the keep me company. Yeah. It has everything on it, man. To me, like if somebody just saw Skyzoo for the first time, you know what I'm saying, and they hear this record, it makes you want to go back and hear the whole situation.
Facts, man.
And then let's be clear, we're not gonna say no names, but me and Bebo were talking about how there's certain rappers, man, you don't know nothing from none of their lyrics. They don't even talk about themselves.
Man, listen, you don't know who they are, where they from.
Facts.
You don't know what they stand for. You couldn't pick out a record. You couldn't pick out an album. All you know is that in your mind, they dope. You think they dope. They told you they was dope. The label, the management, the crew, the team, the cosigns told you that they was dope. The bloggers and the podcasts. But, yo, tell me who this person is. Damn, I don't really know. Yo, tell me about them. And damn, I don't really know. Yo, tell me what they about, what they stand. I don't know. You know, one day they dress like this, then the next day they dress like that. One day they hair like this, the next day they sound like that. One day they stand for that. All right, cool. So who is this? I don't know, just somebody I thought I liked. I don't know. Now I don't like them no more. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, you got to start having those conversations so that we could weed shit out in hip hop. You know what I mean? And that's on both sides of the fence. That's not just on the radio club, whatever side. There's a lot of that shit in the quote unquote underground and real and all that. There's a lot of that shit over here, man. A lot of that shit. It's just like, just because that shit is underground and quote unquote hip hop and boom bap, don't mean that shit is dope. A lot of that shit be dirt. You know what I mean? Like, just like if be a lot of dirt on the other side, a lot of that shit dirt, man. Just because the shit say organic don't mean it's good fruits and vegetables. You know what I mean?
Like that Campbell soup rap. You know what I'm saying? That's some bio stuff. You know what I mean?
Just say organic. You know what I mean?
It got to read the label.
You know what I mean? So,
but again, this year a lot of cats.
Daniels, right?
Yeah, so much that. But again, like, a lot of cats are getting exposed by the real ones, man. And again, like, and it's not like you're doing it on purpose. It's just you doing what naturally comes to you, man. And again, this is what kind of separates, like, to me, some of the best records I've heard this year. Yours, Raekwon's, you know what I'm saying, that De La. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these records, man, again, you're hearing about the people. You're seeing what's going on. And again, of course, man, we salute the clips and all that. You know what I'm saying? They got the heavy hitters, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? And again, what's the first record on the Clips joint? You know, they going in talking about their mom and dad and when they left. You know, they telling the stories. Again, this is what we know from our age group. This is what we grew up on. So again, this is why, to me, you go cop this album, man. Go check it out, definitely, man. The last record, man, again, we said it's 9 records. It's not an EP, bro. This is the actual album because it's no shit. That's why I didn't put no EP on this joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This Half Bloom record, man, is crazy, man. Let me play this real quick now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One, two.
Big Hex.
The way that I lapped through, footsteps that carried you, took on more than I had to. Shit, we only at half bloom. To the way that I lapped through, footsteps that carried you, took on more than I had to. Shit, we only at half bloom. We we only at half. I probably never know how it feels to sign it with major, but I cope when I'm a ghost and they slide me they paper with the most looking over, and I wrote like I know that we align, meaning I won't be aligned with they favors. Like, yo, don't wait up unless your heart rate's built for breaking day. My man took Southside off of skinnies and razor blades. I was at his crib, my feet on his aunt tables. I knew better, but these pennies designed like if God made them. And you need to see him. I mean, you need to see him. Dubbing reasonable doubt what all these reasons being. We underage and underpaid for all that we've been peeping. But if we blessed here long enough, that mean that we ain't leaving. Under my deepest demons, it's Huxtable sweaters to keep me warm. I gotta dig through them to get them. So what I'm reaching for is brownstones blown out. The tandem that you know about, depending on how far all this yellow tape will go I lap through. Footsteps that carry jewel. Took on more than I had to. Shit, we only at half bloom. To the way that I lapped through.
Yeah.
Your scene would be proud hearing this.
Hey, man. Ended the record with this joint. Half Bloom, you know what I'm saying? Salute to Leo, man. Hold it down.
Yeah, my man Leo Confident, man.
Fire.
New young producer. Well, he not young. He older than us. He a little older, but new producer on the scene. But he's a monster. He did Sleeping Beauty on Keep Me Company. He's a monster.
Horns is crazy on the record.
Oh, yeah, my brother Sean Taylor, man. My man Sean Taylor on the last 2 records, yep.
Oh, yeah, Susan Sean Taylor. Susan Sean Taylor, yeah. He was on that Keep Me Company joint.
He on every album. Every album since 2013 he's been on.
Yeah, salute,
and that was
man.
him playing on The Soloist, and that's him playing on Half Bloom.
Yeah,
it's you know, when I heard the beat, I knew it was going to end the album. You know, I wasn't, I might have just started the album. I might have just started it. But when I heard, when he sent me the beat, I was like, this is going to end the album. Just the way it feels, the way it moves, I was like, it's going to end the album. This is what I want to walk out on. And, you know, it just wraps up the whole idea of looking back and reflecting on what was and what wasn't. I'll probably never know how it feels to sign to a major, but I cope when I'm a ghost and they slide me their paper with the most looking over, and I wrote like I know that we align, meaning I won't be aligned with their favors. Like, yo, don't wait up. You know what I mean? Like, when you coming up, especially our age group, man, before you could just be indie your whole life and become a superstar of being indie, when we was coming up, man, anybody, I don't care if they was making radio, you know, pop friendly hip hop. I don't care if they was making underground boom bap, fat beats, raucous, whatever. We all had the same dreams and visions coming up. It was get a deal, be on BET, be on Rap City, be on the cover of The Source, go platinum, not be able to walk the streets because you're getting mobbed. Call your mother and father and say you don't got to work no more. Win Grammys, win VMAs. We all wanted the same things. It's just, what are you willing to do to get those things or not do or whatever. And where do you draw the line in the sand? Like, yo, I'm good. I'm going to stop here. Some people kept going. They ain't had no line. I had a line earlier. I was like, yeah, I'm drawing a line right here. And I'm all the way back here. I'm not even at the edge of the line. The line over there, and I'm all the way back here. And that's just what it is. But we all had those visions, man. Like, we all saw videos of people getting signed and the champagne bottle pops with the CEO in the office and the lawyers sitting there shaking your hand and the manager hug you. And we all was like, damn, that shit look dope. That shit look good, man. Damn. I definitely did. You know, even throughout my career, you know, I would see certain heads that I knew, and it's not no jealousy. It's like, damn, that food over there look good. I want a plate. It don't mean I don't want you to eat, you know what I mean? But I want a plate too, you know what I mean? So I'm not jealous that you eating good food. I'm just like, yo, they got another plate, you know what I mean? So like, you know, you sit back and look like that feeling, like, damn, you know what I mean? So I probably never know how it feels to sign to a major, but I cope when I'm a ghost and they slide me their paper with the most looking over. I'm God looking down on me while I write. So I'm like, we aligned, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do what it takes to probably get over there. Like, I'm cool. You know what I mean? We good. We good. I get it. You know what I mean? And you just roll. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it keeps going. And you know, that second verse, you know, promise my moms I keep my name out of a jail book. But off proximity, I can etch a sketch how a scale look. The big scale. Right now, you know, flip the West shit. The Western Stove and Jada shit. You talking about the big scale with me right now. You know what I mean? So, you know, the big scale right now. That's why I did the big scale right now. Shout to my Griselda brothers. when me and Wes first met, it was like we felt we cousins. It's funny, Wes texted me today. He was like, bro, I listened to Half Bloom like on loop like 3-4 times in a row just now. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, he just texted me, he wrote Half Bloom. And I was like, word. I wrote down word. He said, bro, I'm on like my third or fourth listen, bro. He was like, this shit beautiful.
He didn't have to go into details.
You know what I mean? So, shout out to my brother Wes, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, when me and Wes first met, it was like we felt we cousins. You couldn't tell we wasn't. Still can. Our archive got the lines. Like if the tape's still damp, it's like when the work is damp, but you got to sell it because there's too many people outside waiting on the line. So our archives, our catalogs, our archive got the lines. Like if the tape's still damp, it took two models of Lawyer Claire to come and grab me for me to stay off the curb, because, well, it took two models of Lawyer Claire to come and grab me because Spanish is taught in school and there's a Claire in every alley. What I'm saying on that, if you know my story, I got a mom's and I got a stepmom. So I grew up with two, you know, my moms and my pops, and my, you know, my mom, I had my pops and my stepmoms and my moms. So I had two cribs, I had two moms my whole life, and they both was like Claire Huxtable types, even though we was in the hood. It was Claire Huxtable types. But then if you know anything about Wes and Griselda, they big on Claire. Claire was the fiend who they was serving, and you know, whatever. And then they wound, West took her to Art Basel and put the mink on her and and then she passed away. So I'm talking about me and West being similar but different, but similar from the similar world, same vibe, we same age, all that, but different in our own ways, but very similar, right? Like I grew up with the Wests of Brooklyn and Queens. He was just in Buffalo. So it's like I'm talking about the two Claires in my life, and I'm talking about the Claire in his life, and I'm like, those type of Claires that was in his life, they in every alley. You know what I mean? So it took the Claires that I had in my cribs to keep me off that. And that's why I said Spanish is taught in school and there's a Claire in every alley. Spanish is mandatory in New York State. You know, when you go to school in New York, you got to graduate. You got to pass Spanish to graduate. I know Spanish. I could go to the plug direct now. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying on that. So it took two models of Lawyer Claires to come and grab me because Spanish is taught in school and there's a Claire in every alley. You know what I mean? So now I'm doing the Claires versus the Claire, my Claires versus his Claire. That type of Claire was in every alley in the neighborhood, so it was nothing to get in that. You know what I mean? And they teach you Spanish in school. Yo, Poppy, what's up? Da-da-da-da-da. Like, you know, I'm just saying it was easy to become that. It's easy to become that where we from. You know what I mean? So it took two models of Claire to pull me off. So in those two bars, that's what I'm doing there. You know what I mean? So the whips ran around in my hood was cash and carry. A bunch of Marion Hills serving Marion Barry's. You know, Marion Hills, LL in the house. You know what I mean? So like
Marion Barry though.
Marion Hill was LL's character in the house. All the guys in my neighborhood getting money look like that. You know what I'm saying? Like good FUBU hat on, pants leg rolled up, getting money, licking their lips, bad joints in the whip. You know what I'm saying? They look like Marion Barry. They look like LL getting money outside. You know, those was the OGs, and they was getting money off the Marion Barrys of the neighborhood and of the world. You know what I mean? A bunch of Marion Hills serving Marion Barrys, like, get at me. You know what I mean? So it just, I'm always going to paint that picture, man. You know, the writer that the writers here be running the mock while all the typewriters potting who they want at the top. I look down on your list and look up to the locks. You know what I mean? Like, only a few in the room could do this resume talk. And bet I'm Horsecock Williams if you check at the door. The enthusiasm is curbed for the lesser involved. Ghost writing on SSLs. I put the steps on the board. Siri invisible ink once you press and record. Like, I'm a ghostwriter, so now, like, once you start pressing record, I'm out. Like, it's like the ink disappeared almost, you know what I'm saying? Like the Siri invisible ink. But with the Curb Your Enthusiasm line, I don't know if y'all curb heads or not.
Yeah, man.
But
Larry Davis.
You know, when Leon was with Jeff and Larry at the golf club and they was having lunch, and he was like, yeah, there's a Big Johnson community, and he was like, what? There's a Big Johnson community. He was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, we have meetings at the house. He's like, yeah, meetings at the house? He's like, yeah, we just talk. We just sit around and fucking talk, you know? And then he was like, what is there? Is there a president? He was like, yeah, my man, Horsecock Williams. You know what I'm saying? He was like, so how do you get in the club? He was like, you got to show your shit at the door to get in. You know what I mean? So that's what I was saying about my catalog. You know, only a few in the room could do this resume talk. And bet I'm Horsecock Williams if you check at the door. The enthusiasm is curbed for the lesser involved. Because I knew people may not get that if you're not a curb head. So I added the curb, your enthusiasm. The enthusiasm is curbed for the lesser involved. Ghost writing on SSLs. I put the steps on the board and blah, 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 blah. And the train's not gonna stop, man. You either get on or get off. We riding. You know what I'm saying? Like what they told Ray, what they told Ray and Sunset pause. Yeah, absolutely. Super pause, but you know what I'm saying? We're talking about the resume at the time. But yes, absolutely. You get that one off. You get that pause off, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, so it's like what Sunset and Ray, they told Ray, they said, hey, get on and get off. This train is riding. You know what I mean? Like when they was getting ready to shoot, say, yo, this train is riding, baby. Like you on or off. That's it. You know what I mean? This train is riding, man.
Well, again, like I said, you put so much of culture into your bars. Illmatic, DB, as what's your favorite season of The Wire?
Season 4, without a doubt.
Man,
Season 4, without a doubt.
4
Every season is beautiful. It's perfect television. There is no better television show. It is absolutely marvelous. It shoots 99% from the field. But season 4, without a doubt.
Yeah. That's my favorite too. Andre, that's our dude, man, Milwaukee. He's asking, man, how do you know Khalif Rainey?
Khalif Rainey?
Oh, Khalif Rainey. Yeah, that's my man. Yeah. I shouted him out on Bodega Flowers. Yeah, man. I did a couple shows out there in the mill. My man Strick, shout to Strick. My man Khalif was a part of it, man, and he's just a huge fan and supporter and, you know, real hip-hop head, but he's an alderman. He's a politician, but he one of us, you know what I mean? You see him, he look like a bouncer, you know what I mean? But, you know, he's an alderman, you know what I'm saying? And he make beats on the side and all that, you know what I mean? And but he's a politician in the city, you know what I mean, for Milwaukee. And, you know, actually, I performed when they opened up the Fiserv Arena where the Milwaukee Bucks play. I actually performed and helped open it up. They did a block party out there. So that was cool. It was weird because it wasn't the Knicks, you know what I'm saying? But it was love, though. And the Bucks was a absolutely first-class organization, you know, and Khalif put that together. So, yeah, they about to help us again. They about to be a real first-class organization and give us Giannis, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's a different discussion, you know what I'm saying?
He said that's where he want to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Big Hick said good Leon impression too, though, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yo, my man. You know, we just have fucking talk. We just, you know, what he said. He said, we just sit around and fucking talk about what it's like. Man. You know, just fucking talk. Oh man, Leon.
My favorite one is that Mr. Softy episode, man. That's my favorite, man.
Yeah, Curve is it.
Curve is dope,
Curve
man.
is absolutely
my
it,
shit, man. But this is the thing, man. We got Skyzoo in here. We pretty much had him in here for 2 hours. We appreciate the time, man. Like, let's be clear. This album is crazy. There's been a lot of drops this year.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorites, man. This is
to
me. It's every track, man, is almost. Let's be clear. It's a gift because you got to run it back, man. You're like, hold up, man. What did he say?
Every track. Without
every track, you got to run that thing back. And again, people really don't get to hear bars like this anymore, Scott.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody that you kind of talk about, they really kind of not really retired, but they kind of AI a little bit. They kind of Allen Iverson, where they ain't retired yet. You know what I'm saying? But they don't play no more.
Yeah.
So again, the bars that you put out, man, like we don't get that. So again, you're hearing greatness through the speakers, man. We don't go track for no albums. Let's be clear, we don't do that.
Yeah, that's real.
You know what I'm saying? So we had to do the whole situation tonight. We had to get Sky in here. We have to give him his flowers, man, while he's still out here, man. Again, flu gaming cats, man, with the Byron Russell joints. You know what I'm saying? And showing cats what it is.
Little shove.
Yeah, man, a little shove. You know what I mean? But again, man, it's about the dub. What's your take, man, on what you want people to when they put this joint in, man? Again, I think Bebo kind of said it, but I'm gonna end it with it. What do you really want the vibe for them to get, man, from this project? Not necessarily a track, but just where you at mentally, man. You know what I'm saying? When you basically went in on this joint and how you want them to hear it.
For one, I love just when people relate. When people relate, you know, that's what it's about, man. When people talk about, they cry to it, they you know, they see themselves in it, they hear themselves in it, just to relate. You know, so there's that. I want people to understand the lyricism and what I do, and that there's somebody who cares, right? Like I want the listener to care because I care. And I want to care because I'm assuming the listener cares, you know. So it's give and take with both of us. So, you know, I want the listener to just be able to sit back and be like, damn, he's still feeding me even just off this album. Yo, man, like there's not nobody else out here doing it like this. There's people that get busy, there's people that's nice, there's people that got doubles, but you know, doing it on this level where like every joint you feel like, yo, this is, yeah, it's no skips, it's this, every song, every album in the catalog, like, and just the appreciation. But what I want for the people, man, is just for them to enjoy and see themselves in it, and just take their time with it. Take their time with it. And as far as what you getting from me, just learning more about me. Just learning more about me, man. You know, it was a review that came out today, and shout out to homie who wrote it, man. And he was like, you know, this album is Sky, and he was showing Dumb Love, praising it and everything. And he was like, yo, this album is Sky not apologizing for the contradictions that he grew up in, and just standing tall in them, like Black Star but Mace, right? You know, all that type of shit. You know, Black Panthers and Bobby Seale and Huey Newton, Fred Hampton, but then Willie Burgers and drug dealers and gold chains, and you know, outside with the OGs but inside with his parents on some Cosby shit, but in the hood. Like, the contradictions are what raised me and what makes me the MC, the man, the individual, the father, everything that I am, that I'm able to just exist in all these worlds. That's why I could have a record with Jada, then the next record would be me and Black Thought talking about Money Makes Us Happy. I could go from See a Key to Money Makes Us Happy, and why those two records make sense back to back, right? Like I could do, you know, all of that, like all of those different things. And it's because of those contradictions. It's because it was the Locks and D Block, and then it was Dead Prez and Common and Black Star, and it was all those things at once. It was Slumville, and then it was, you know, Best of Rockefeller, you know what I mean? Like both tapes in my bag. So that's why I move the way I move. You know, you get your handle from this guy, you get your jumper from this guy, you get your layup package from this guy, you get your court vision and how to run the how to run a playbook, and from this guy. Okay, so I got there's Penny over here, you know, it's Magic here, there's Mike here, you know, there's some Mellow here, you know, there's some Kobe, there's some A. Okay, you taking parts as you grow up. Even like if you play sports, you taking parts of your favorite people's games and kind of putting them together. And that's how I grew up, even before the music. You know, the contradictions, like like how you like so and so and so and so. How you grew up in a Black Panther house, but your pops was thugging too. You know what I mean? Like the contradictions are what made me who I am, you know?
Like I said, man, go ahead, B-Bo, man. End it off, man.
I mean, Skyzoo, ladies and gentlemen, views of a lifetime.
Views of a lifetime out right now. You know what I mean? Run it up before December 12th, because we know on December 12th, everybody gonna spend 48 hours on that light years, as we all should, myself included. You know, so run it up between now and the 12th. And then on the 12th, run that up. And then on the 14th, run Views of a Lifetime up again and go back and forth with them, and simultaneously mine and theirs, and, you know, get all that good hip hop love, man.
Sky, Views of a Lifetime sounds like just a masterfully poetic collage of art painted just by, you know, all of the, as you coined, contradictive, quote unquote, contradictive experiences, the as they label, you know, the Black experience, you know, the books, you know, the Black history books that you came up on,
materialistic side, all that,
the materialistic, the street side, and everything in between, man. I mean, just really serves as a collage to serve as what we know as what we hear in Views of a Lifetime, man. And I mean, even with the in-depth references, like the Juno one, like not many people have seen that movie, you know what I'm saying? And how you cited the end of the movie, like if you in, I'm in, or something like that. I'm like, okay, not many, like not just that, but like moments like that you eloquently just laid out, man. But you do so with ease. You do so like effortlessly. With a lyricism that hip hop needs to continue to fuel the culture. And for that, man, mega salute, man. And
thank you, man. I appreciate it. Listen, those words are why we do it, man. I tell heads all the time, sometimes I'll meet fans, and I may have said this on y'all show before, I don't remember, but sometimes I'll meet fans and they'll be like, yo, man, you know, I wanted to say what's up, man, but I don't want to be a dick ride. I don't want to come off that way. I'm like, nah, like you can't think that way because, and I get it, because sometimes you're scorned by meeting your heroes, you know what I mean? And you scorn, you're like, man, it was corny, man. I ain't going to show no love. I love the music, but I had a bad experience with so-and-so. For one, that's never going to happen with me. But, you know, we need that, especially on this side of the fence, right? There's a lot of people, they may get hate online, they may get whatever, but you know what? That crib was 4.5 million that they in, and their mother crib is 3.5 mil, and they got a bunch of baddies waiting, and you know what I mean? And the bank account is overflowing, they can't count it. So it's like, all right, I get hate online, but whatever, I get da-da-da, whatever, but my life is good. You know what I mean? So, but for us, it's the sacrifice. It's like I said, culture over money, strangers over me. So we need that. We need the love. That's why we care so much about end of the year lists. Well, some of us, I can't say everybody, but we care like about end of the year lists and album of the years and da-da-da-da-da, because it's like, yo, what are we doing it for if it's not for some of those other things? Because it's definitely not about being on the radio and being at the Grammys every year, because that's a chance of that happening is very slim on this side of the fence. It doesn't mean you're not successful. You could be super successful without ever touching that. But what are we doing it for? Are we doing it for the people? We doing it for the love? We doing it for the recognition? We doing it for the validation of, yeah, you're it. I know you're not on the radio. You're not selling, 5 million records, but you're it, and you matter, and you're important. So that's why, the love, we need all that. I be telling fans like, nah, man, get that up. We need that. Yo, shit is crazy. Yo, it changed my life. Boom. We need that. That makes it like, hell yeah, word up. You know what I mean? Hell yeah. So we need all that, man. And it's funny, you was talking about, you said the books, and I'm sitting here like just putting some stuff together for some videos. And, I was going through my boxes and getting stuff for some of these music videos. No lies, man. Listen, how I spent my summers, my reading list was that jam. 90s Cage comic books.
Hey.
Message to the Black Man.
Okay.
The Wretched of the Earth.
Wow.
Down to Willie Lynch's Advance.
Okay.
Man.
Okay.
Liner notes from tapes that I was boosting off the backhand. Look at the share the wealth. My view be panoram. Lend you from niggas to gods and from Superman to man.
Wow.
These real books in my house that I put in the rhyme. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't have to buy these. This is my real stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like,
man.
When I say it, it's real.
That's what's up right there, man.
When you said it, it made me think of it. They sitting here on the table. I was like, oh, let me grab. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So. This is my real stuff, so I'm not lying, so listen, man, I know it's late, y'all got things to do, morning and edits and all that. I appreciate every one of y'all, man. It's love. I'm glad we locked in. Views of a Lifetime available right now. Keep me in mind when y'all putting together them end of the year list, everybody.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear.
Hey, this is your second time here, so you ain't a guest no more. You fam, man. So
man.
Nah, absolutely. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody who we saw, who we didn't get to catch, whatever it was. Much love to all of y'all. And I'm gonna be performing the joint on the road soon after the holidays. Just keep up with my gram and my Twitter. You'll see all the show dates, and as soon as they start popping up, I got some stuff coming up. Atlanta, New York. Where y'all based out again?
Man, we spread out, bro.
Okay, word up. You gotta make sure when I'm in those cities, we get together. That's why I asked, you know what I mean?
If you ever in Tampa, Florida, man, I'm tapping in.
Yep, I'll be out there, so yep.
Take us home, J. Kemp.
Nah, man, I mean, we just appreciate you, Sky, man, just for being an inspiration, man. We have a lot of MCs, producers who tap into us, man, and what this does, it teaches them they don't have to conform. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to. They can be them. We always talk about on this show acting your age. You know what I'm saying? We tell MCs, man, just act your age, because you got a story to tell. You've been through a lot, you know what I'm saying? So when we hear your music, like we get that, you know what I'm saying? We're learning. It's teaching, it's MCing, it's barring out, but it's also got a message behind it, man. It's
100%.
The message, it's the truth. But at the end of the day, man, we just appreciate your contributions to the culture, man, because that's what matters at the end of the day, man. We talk about, people say hip-hop is dead. It's not. It's breathing. It's got a heartbeat. The metronome is kicking.
Absolutely.
You are a product of that, man. And we just want to give you everything you need, every tool. If there's anything we got to do to promote your music, man, we're here to do that for you, to make sure that it gets heard, man. Because
that means the world, man. Listen, I appreciate all of y'all. and the community that y'all have built is incredible, and I admire it, you know, and y'all are cooking, man. Just keep the stove on. Y'all are cooking, man, and it's much love. Anytime I drop, you know, I'm coming through. You know, anytime I drop something, I'm coming through, man. So y'all please, you know,
we also
keep me
appreciate
in mind and let's roll.
We also appreciate, even though it says Bed-Stuy behind him, we also appreciate the Fresh Out logo right there behind you on the picture there.
That's what's up. Yeah.
But no, like I said, hey man, Skyzoo, views of a lifetime. The album is crazy. No skips. You're gonna love it. You're gonna spin it back, like I said, spin it back 12 in the 9s, but spin it back again after the 12. You know what I'm saying? Again, we here. When the vinyl drop?
Should be like midwinter.
All right, hit us with that. Hit us with that link when we get the vinyl too. So, you know what I mean?
Without a doubt.
Yeah. So
without a doubt, you know, to be posted and all that, and we'll make sure it's accessible and everybody can get it. Make sure y'all get it and all that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Again, we got the link in the joint.
Production.
Yeah, we got the link in the joint. Go check out the album again, Skyzoo, man. One of the realest dudes ever, man. Again, man, talking to him is like talking to you, dude, is so iconic. Again, man, you one of the real ones, man, that's still out here doing their thing. Again, man, it's legendary when we talk to you. And again, sometimes we like, oh, we only gonna talk for this long, but sometimes the jewels that you drop, man, is so crazy. Yeah. We just gotta let you. We ISO every time you know you come through.
Gotta let them go full bloom and so fast. Yeah,
you know what I mean, and everybody can't do that. Let's just be clear too. So again, Skyzoo, views of a lifetime, man. We out, man. Check out the album, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow too on the regular show, man. Y'all. Again, super to the chat, man. J Kent, Bebo P, Iceberg, Skyzoo. We out of here.
We out here.
Peace.
Peace.
Let's go.
To the R to the A to the Let's go. To the R to the A to the world's most dangerous podcast. We gon' be in the building with good. It was doing bar for bar. Like J Kent was going down, man. Let's get it.
What's good?
Hundo up in this studio. Hundo. Shout Podcast Show. They are the podcast equivalent of Rap City right now. This is the best hip hop debate show on the internet. So shout out to the Fresh Out Show.
Please wipe your feet. You rockin' with Fresh Out. Yeah. Fresh Out is here, ain't no tiptoeing. The competition running like they Jesse Owens. Please believe, Dookie, this is our moment. We hard in the paint, boy, Kavon Looney. I told Iceberg, please hand the koofy. I'm not a newbie. You will never catch my feet in the bad boy jacuzzi. Stop it. That's that such ish. We live B, we want that real smoke. And be careful, it's kinda cutthroat. The chat going ham, they just might make you get out like no one in the blue notes. Stop it.
Sky.